All right, everybody, welcome to Swim or Sink 24. We are happy to be here watching some great competitive Splatoon here on the IPL Splatoon Twitch channel. I am Lancer, and I'm joined here with Fern. Fern, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Just had a coffee and pizza as lunch, and I'm pretty excited for this another edition, the 24th edition of Sink or Swim. It's gonna be definitely a great tournament for this marvelous It's Wednesday Madus meme today, and I am so excited I can be here for the first time hosting commentating this amazing tournament. And what do you think is gonna happen today, my dear friend Lancer?
I'm feeling good about some of our competitors here. We got some great teams, especially with our first matchup between Dababies and Space Race. Dababies, it sounds interesting. It's just basically, you could tell that they were coming into this tournament thinking we're going to be a meme team with that logo.
Oh yeah, what is it? It's a car. Do you know
Yep,
whose face is that? I don't know whose face is that.
that is the rapper Dababy,
Oh,
and that has become a meme because in one of his songs he said, "I can turn a person into a convertible," and now people put his head on a car body.
people go miles and miles for that for some jokes. So I'll give them that.
Yeah, we also
Yeah.
look at Space Race here, and we see a few pretty solid players. I mean, looking at Fusion and Krim on their team, they're pretty solid players.
Oh yeah. I'm actually just surprised. We're gonna start with TC Manta Maria here, and I see already that Space Race is going for a backliner's comp. Already interesting to see the Fusion going with the blah blah blah. A very important weapon if you want to keep the map painted. You don't need to actually get many kills, but if you manage to keep the control of the map with your ink, already with the 30 seconds suction bomb rush is gonna give a lot of control for Space Race. Unfortunately, it's already gonna go down. Two people from Space Race, and it seems that the baby is gonna start pushing right now with the tower. As long as they actually know, they seem to be taking a little more of a defensive position, even though they just took two. Carbon going down, it's gonna be a little bit bad for them because they're also losing the control of the bunker. Here comes the Splash-O-Matic taking the bucket. Here comes the Splash trying to get the blob. Once again, the blob is not trying to get any picks. It's just trying to get control of the map. And the armor comes off for the babies and takes down the blob. Fusion going down, and the push begins from the babies.
And we saw 3 down go down there. Boys pushing up, trying to get some paint coverage on the map. Close to checkpoint, but now they got it, and they're going to see if they can try and get a lead or anything, since Space Race had just taken care of the first checkpoint as they lose control of the tower, but they gain it back. Krim trying to keep players off of their bunker as tries to paint, and there is lost control again from the babies.
Wow, that camera over there striking on the bucket was definitely unexpected. Didn't see quite that. I don't know if that Ninja Squid. It's not a bad sub to put on your on your weapon there. It is definitely some people consider it a little bit cheesy, but like it works, it's effective. So don't be ashamed of yourself if you have to use a carbon Ninja Squid. The babies right now trying to prolong a little bit of the push. They break the first checkpoint, but their rate is not gonna be able to do a lot more, since it's like the Space Race is now trying to recover the turf from mid and pressure a lot the babies from their bunker and trying to get control from the left side, taking 2 down. Or Krim on the bucket, going aggressively as hard as possible, reaching the second checkpoint, trying to take the Mao and only being able to hit from the left side of tower, give you an opportunity for Space Race to push even further. Second checkpoint is 3 down from them, only Fusion alive, and they lost control. Is the end of the push, and here comes the babies now trying to recover from those lost points.
All the picks that we saw there from the Carbon Deco there, as the Charger stays on tower trying to gain back as much as they can and possibly take lead once again with a solid push. So we see Charger trying to get some shots onto the blob lever, but just can't get it as she pulls out the ray. A little bit of hit on the bunker, but there is no kills off of that.
Yeah,
trying to go for the snipe. Can't really hit any snipes so far. As the blob lover keeps putting pressure on the charger, and that's a pretty important thing for Fusion to do during this match. Try and keep as much pressure on your opponent to stop them from any kind of push.
Interestingly enough, when I see a blob and ends up in a comp, specifically if it's not zones, I find it interesting because basically, would you say that your team is trying to fight for, like, I'm gonna paint this side and charge for armor, I'm gonna paint this side and charge for, basically keep the control of the map? What do you think of that combination with an N-Zap, just spamming armor, and a blob just trying to keep the map painted?
I mean, it works out pretty well with tower control if you're trying to get as much just paint on the ground and making a good push. And armors are very, very helpful once somebody is on tower, just so they can take a few more hits before they go down.
I agree, that makes sense. And not to mention that because of that combination that is so heavily painted, the Carbon struggles a lot. I think most of the splats we have seen from the Carbon are gonna be a little bit hard to do because they are trading. And here we see Space Race pushing already to the 3rd checkpoint, getting 2 people down and 1 person remaining from the push. The Slosher and Beb will go down. It's only the heavy painters. They're trying to get the KO, and the Inertia does it, and Toon gets the KO with the final stretch of the push. Look at that map, it's so much painted.
Yeah. Again, we were just talking about that blob and N-Zap combo. You can see how well that works out for them on pushes, as they kept most control without getting picked. It helped.
Yeah, I agree. Mostly if I would say something that would have helped the babies a little bit more is that when they were trying to push, basically the charger was close to the tower, and because we saw the camera on the charger at that moment, you even mentioned about the sniping, how many views they get. But basically because the Space Race has controlled so much of the left side, even though the charger couldn't get any picks, the frontliners couldn't push in the tower no further than just the beginning of the first checkpoint, the first one. That basically negates any pushes that the babies could even begin with. So like I think they would the better for the charger to be just on the higher ground trying to pressure from a higher position where the shooters couldn't even get a pick on the charger, and the frontliners would push from the enemy bunker and so on and so on. That could initiate a push a little bit better. So I think that the babies could have just gotten a little bit good positioning when it comes to beginning their pushes on PC right Manta Maria.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely see that. As we are heading into our next match, Rainmaker on Starfish main stage. I kind of just don't know what the comps are going to be. Oh, but they have the Zap and Blob Lobber combo again for... Oh, wait, for Space Race. But it's a... they got the Orange Zap coming out, which has missiles, which you never really think about using in Rainmaker too much, I guess.
That's actually an interesting thing. You still see a lot of paint coming from Space Race for sure, because N-Zap, Blob, and Bucket. And now we're just seeing that the Jet Scorcher is gonna pick up right here a very important splat on the stage, putting the Blob down. That gives a lot of opportunity for the enemy push, for the babies to, for Space Race to actually start their own pushes right here. It's quite interesting how you see a lot of shift of turf going to the blue instead of the yellow.
Yeah, and we see a few missiles pop out, coming off. So the Jet, staying alive, pops that Ray, trying to get some sort of pick or anything, just trying to get one. They got one there off the Blob Lobber, as we see Dababies trying to get as much map control as they can. Good pick right there from Rish, and they start their push off, heading to the left side. Oh, ooh, the Carbon goes down to the Blob, and they lost Rainmaker control.
Damn, that's already a first wipe. It's not gonna be, I think, definitely gonna go for a lead over here, but are we gonna see like a close to a knockout? Like, they already get the lead. They need to get close to the 19 on the ramp. Fusion quite aggressive with the Blob.
Yeah, oh, they're making a big push right here. It's just the Jet. They can't get the pick. Oh, they just get it with 3 points remaining per space race. They try and pop that. Oh, but the bucket comes up with the flank Prim. And they pick it up, but the pick there. 2 down on the side of the babies. 3 down on the side of the babies. 4 down. They get the wipe. Crim alone. Can he get the knockout? Oh, just close. Only 1 point remaining. That is amazing to see from Crim right there with the bucket.
Space Race basically can't afford to do anything on the enemy spawn right now. The reset was a very good call from the Jet Scorcher, but like it's the only option they have now is just when they need to get a knockout now, and they have to compensate for the enemy turf that is just being for Space Race the entire map. Like Fusion right here, they're not playing defensive, they're just keeping the Rainmaker as much as they can on their side, so it's just not standing still in mid.
Yeah. As we see 2 down go 2 down on the side of Space Race. Rish trying to go for a flank? I'm not sure. Okay, they're heading on Perch, and they let Rainmaker reset as they're fighting through mid. Ray goes out on the side. Oh! We see Pop take out Rish. 2 down on the side of Dababies, and Soup picks it up, trying to make this big push, trying to knock it up. What the big pick right there from Boyd.
I would definitely say for sure at this moment, I'm not gonna say it is an impossible way for the Babies to turn out this win, but like look at the positioning of the Rainmaker, and like their comp makes sense. They just need to outkill before anything happens in the beginning of the match. So for this, so if you play this comp similar to like spamming Jet Squelch or trying to get the armor and the carbon, you need to outkill them before you lose as much turf as you can. That's what Space Race is doing most of the matches, is just keeping the control of turf and keeping key positions that will keep not only the backliner at bay, but the frontliners. If they decide to go, oh, we're gonna start pushing in, drop from their spawn. Yeah, no, you can't do anything. It's just impossible to get out of this. It's spawn camping at its finest at this moment.
Yeah, Ray comes out from the side of the Babies trying to hit the Rainmaker. They get the pick just in time. 38 seconds left in this match. Grim looking to get some picks, but Harvin starting to chase, and they have disengaged. The Babies, I believe, popped, and no one's trying to go for it, so it will probably be a reset trying to defend as much as they can.
Oof, this is not looking good at all. I do understand the strategy of using Stingray, but honestly, I've been playing a little bit on this map, and like because this is sort of short map and very wide when it comes to the distance in between the totems, it's just like the Stingray cannot be fully used, so that's why I kind of question why using the Jet Scorcher to begin with. Sure, it is a good Ray weapon, but is the Ray good on this map overall? That's something I actually ask myself sometimes.
Yeah. Definitely. As we see this match go to Space Race 2-0, heading into our 3rd game. And what do you think the Babies really need to worry about for this next match? Trying to at least get 1 win from this set.
Let's see. Most likely the comps from Space Race is still gonna rely heavily on things. We know that they're gonna be using. I presume, like 80% sure, that they are still gonna use the Jet Scorcher or at least a Ray weapon, because it is good here. Now, this map is very good in this mode as well. But the problem is that I don't know who needs to do the first push in order to get a splat, because I said it and defend my point. If you outkill your enemies, the Babies can actually win. But if they let Space Race get a lot of control of turf, left, right conveyor, and mid, there is nothing much the Babies can actually do. Because like I'm noticing that the NZAP and the Blob, they're playing a little bit backwards so they can keep control of the turf. If Space Race keep doing that, not only will they have the control of the turf, but they will effectively keep getting clams over the map, which will make the knockout a possibility here. Like straight away, 1 push could get a knockout to Space Race.
Yeah. We could see a quick knockout if possible with that kind of strategy here on Clams Piranha Pit on which is our last map of this set. As we are heading in. Just gonna check out these comps here. And it looks like Space Race going with the tried and true. It's almost the same thing here for Dababies. As we see a little bit of, again, Blob and Bucket coming from Fusion and Crim. As we see a pick right there from, oh, double right there from Rish. 2 down immediately for Space Race. Keeping the advantage high.
Carbon right there, doing exactly what I was predicting. Getting the first picks is very crucial. Already going for the clams. They have enough. They do the first score, and now Space Race has to get control of the turf, getting important picks. With already the front liners going down, this is gonna be the end of the first push, but they still have a power clam on their name. Right now, the Blob is trying to do what I said, getting the control of the turf, getting the clams as much as possible, and basically the control of the map goes from measly 5 seconds already to Space Race. This is amazing. Bubbles coming from the bamboo. It's gonna definitely seem like a push right now. The Jet Scorcher with the presumably is down there. The Carbon comes from a sneaky. Oh.
A pick right there from the Carbon Roller, keeping it alive. Oh, but they get the push anyway, and they get another power clam in to take the lead. Space Race, 1 step ahead of them, without them even knowing. What a push!
Definitely what a good push. Even though the babies managed to get 2 power clams under their basket, Rish, the Carbon coming in clutch, at least slowed down their momentum a little bit, so they couldn't like even put more clams. That was very well displayed set from the Carbon Roller for sure. Even if it was just a trick.
Ooh, 2 down on the side of Space Races. Soup tries to stay alive. Pulls out a little bit, got the bubbles coming out, trying to defend from a push from the side of the Dababies. Throw a Fizzy Bomb, popping a few. And we could see, like, Space Race right now is defending as well as they can. They have a lot of map control, mainly from coming out of the Blob and Bucket. Oh, but we do see a score on the side of Space Race, getting a few more clams in there as possible. So far, I think only threw in 1. And it looks like, oh, wait! Pick on the Carbon, there's going to be a few more points coming through for Space Race right now. Trying to defend his boy, but the pick comes onto the side of Space Race. Few more clams coming in. They could knock this out right here. Ooh.
3 clams remaining, 2 clams remaining. They have enough. They're coming from all the way back. Fusion has the 2 clams. Can he reach it before the basket closes? It seems clutch. He can't. He throws one. There is a possibility, but it's gonna be the end of the push with 1 clam remaining. They need 2 power clams and just 1 small clam in order to finish this push. This is definitely amazing. I do clap for Fusion. You tried. You almost succeeded, but it still was worth it at the end. It was worth it. But now with the babies having to compensate for the loss of turf, they need to think a little bit. Not think. Sorry, my mistake. They need to play a little bit more defensive and not try to lose their Slayers so much. Carbon and the Splash are doing a fantastic job with picks, but they keep trading for the most of the time. Bamboo with the bubbles underneath their base. Fusion who has the power clam, they're going for the jump, trying to get another push starting. Gets an important hit to Bamboo. They still don't hit the power clam. They have another one underneath. They miss!
Oh, there it is.
And
there's the game. It just happened like right there at the tip of the fingers. Throw the power clam, and I believe Fusion threw in the final clam just to end it.
I only noticed the soup miss because that was the best part for me. Like,
yeah,
very underneath, and then you just miss the power clam. Kinda. Who hasn't ever missed a power clam when they were like is in front of you? Like, this is literally in front of you. How can you miss such a big target?
Yeah.
GG's to Space Race. There was amazing matches. My tip for the babies, they did play a little bit better on the last match, and the opening they had for like the very important picks on the carbon and not getting trades was very important. But I don't know how to say to even improve better what happened later. Like they were dying less compared to the beginning, the first two matches, and they could keep a little bit more turf control. But I can't pinpoint exactly what would have made the difference. But it was still good games overall. GG's.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you could definitely see, like, Space Race had been taking control of the map so easily because of their comps of Blob and Zap for all 3 games. That basically gave them a pretty solid advantage to try and get as many pushes as they can, moving it up, and
yeah, it was very clutch. It was very clutch and very exciting match. What else? Like, would you have changed the comp from Space Race or from the Dababies? What do you think?
I mean, I feel like there could have been a few more, like, painting weapons for Space Race at some time.
More what? More painting weapons?
Yeah, probably. I mean...
They had a blob and an end zap. How much...
Oh wait, was I saying Space Race? I meant Dababies, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Dang, I'm wrong here.
Maybe something more of a mid-line as well, like because they had like kind of short range, like they had in the carbon, they had a splash and an end zap, basically like all ranges of T-Tech or below.
But yeah, I mean, picks also were pretty crucial for both sides, but it definitely showed, and that's like the start of the 3rd game. You could see Dababies start off really well on picks, but then Space Race just came in hotter and they were able to get more.
Yeah, I agree. We're still. I think we're gonna start round 2 soon enough. There's a few teams doing their 3rd match.
Yeah.
I wish I could actually see a little bit of the maps. I do have only the pool of the maps of the overall tournament. I find it actually it is more friendly towards some maps that I don't actually usually see. Like let's see, Anchovy Games. I actually mostly see Anchovy Games being played on TC, and I'm seeing Zones and on Rainmaker. Mako Mart is also a Zones match, but only Clan Blitz. What else? Yeah, I actually have a kind of question for you as an opinion. Do you think Snapper Zones or actually no? I have a tweet I remember from Sandu. It was discussing Rainmaker on Moray Towers being actually viable. What do you think?
Yeah. Some points, I guess. Yeah, it could be a viable map mode, but I don't know. I mean, it is the Pinteresty. It should be. Sorry, I can't talk right now. It is pretty interesting sometimes. Like, you can get pretty close games on that map mode, but I could just see like how most tourneys don't put it in there.
I agree. I think we're gonna get for a quick break right now. So, we're gonna go for a quick break. We're gonna be back in a few minutes for sure. So you see you guys a little bit later. We're live back now, and I'm the happiest person right now because I can commentate over my own team and trash talk so much about them. What do you think of this is gonna go down right now, Lancer? What is your opinion of this irony?
It's gonna be interesting for me to listen to you trash talk your own team. Yeah. I mean,
Okay, all jokes aside, this is gonna be a very interesting match. I do actually know Mugato a little bit more in person. Very nice Dynamo player. I'm gonna give you already some spoilers. We're gonna see definitely a armor player, either Enzap or H3 from Luau, Tetris from Kami, Slushy Machine, Bucket, or basically any weapon but Charger from Cannon, and the Kensa Dynamo from Gather on Attrition. Definitely, you don't know what to do with that information, do you?
I mean, I've never had to commentate for this team before.
That's
Not gonna
honestly
lie.
fair.
So
But
yeah,
I think we're gonna see is definitely something we just saw in round one, a team with less paint and more killing power versus a team that can actually paint. Because if the Dynamo is gonna be in play, that means definitely more paint. So are we gonna see more like the same thing that happened just now, or are we gonna see a different result because of how both of these teams play compared to the last two? And on Splatoon Skip Forbidden, this is definitely gonna be very interesting. Without a charger on Luau, I definitely want to see how they're going to progress, and they're going to go definitely not painting comp.
Double Crapid? With H3D and Neo Splash, which is probably like their only big painter, with a comp against Pace, K-Machine, another H3D, Tetris, and Dynamo. Well, we got the Dynamo right there. As we see Luau get the first control in this game. Drifts trying as much to get the paint down on the map. Definitely keeping it right. 3 down on the side of Attrition right now.
And someone fall in the water, or was that? No, that was just camera misunderstanding. Definitely, you're as confused as I am. How the fuck did they first cap with that specific comp? And they basically just used the armor right now after 50 seconds of points being taken already for Luau.
Yeah, that's weird. What? Okay, that was a kill and an assist, as we can see Luau 25 seconds away from knocking this game out. I guess Kensa Rapid's just good for defending zones, because we can see another 3-down situation, and that is gonna knock it out very, very quickly.
I think it's just a matter. If you have a comp that outkills, you need to outkill before they control the zone, which they did. The first pick was from a Crapid. The second came from either the Splash, from the new Splash. So basically what we did was basically, saying basically a lot, outkill, and then you paint. And because of the coordination they had, that's why they didn't need an armor at the beginning of the push, which was something that Attrition, I don't remember if Attrition had an armor in the comp, because we saw mostly the Luau comp. I saw Tetris, Slushing, and Dynamo. I don't remember what was the last weapon. Was it what was it?
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm even forgetting too. What were the 3 weapons that you mentioned?
Slushing, Tetris, and Dynamo.
Oh, they also had an H3D. That's what it was.
Attrition? They had, so it was H3 versus H3D.
Yes, that is.
Interesting. Don't remember, we didn't see the H2D, so I didn't know how many armors they pop, and I also lost the result screen. But yeah, that's very interesting company. Double Crapid. It basically, we are seeing that it works.
It works in zones amazingly Skipper Brazilian zones, I guess. And
do we gonna see Double Crapid on TC Sturgeon now, or are we just gonna see a more standardized comp?
If we see that I don't know how to think about that. That could be deadly. If they have the right, if they put themselves farther away from the tower, they could definitely get some hits trying to defend.
But that's now, here's the thing. On TC Sturgeon, I actually don't know what to say. Like, I'm so baffled with this comp. Like, I know about this comp. I wasn't gonna actually expect this to happen. Okay, we see one Crapid now instead of 2, and the enemy team also with a Crapid. The enemy team
also has one. Okay, now we actually kind of have a standardized comp from the side of Luau. As they start making their way up towards tower, Balloon making their way towards the left side of the map, trying to get some pain control. Dynamo gets the pick right there. And
already Dynamo taking the NZ, and the Sloshing Machine from Attrition already also going down. The Crapid gets both one hit and the splash damage enough to take out the H3 and the Dynamo at the same time. That was definitely well played. Already 3 kills going for the Crapid. Wow. For a more of a long-range support, already getting the first kills is definitely amazing.
Yeah, that's helpful. As we see Neo Splash pop there. Suction Bomb Rush, trying to get past first checkpoint. Oh, the Rapid. Nice way to defend, throwing Torpedo towards someone pushing tower, and they get the pick. 2 down on the side. Oh, 3 down on the side of Luau. Way to stop the push from Attrition.
Yeah, Attrition right here, now I'm gonna start their own push. I honestly was more paying attention to the Crapid playing defenses, so I don't know how Luau got wiped, mostly from the enemy spawn. But right now here, Attrition getting even closer and closer to the first checkpoint mark, pushing away the Crapid for sure, but can they actually reach the tower and stop the push? Coming the armor from the Sloshing Machine on top right, trying to get the Dynamo away. The Neo Splash underneath Bleach, they don't manage to stop, but they get 2 important kills. They close 69, it's a wipe, and the Neo Splash finishes off right now.
Way to get the wipe, trying to stop them from getting past their own lead. As there goes the Suction Bomb Rush once again, trying to push the enemy team back so they can try and score more points off of the checkpoint. The Neo Splash pushing their way in, getting 1 pick, trying to get the Dynamo, but the Dynamo hits the pick anyway. But
I appreciate the fall damage on the Dynamo over there. Let's go up, down, up, down, up, down.
Luau makes it past first checkpoint. Splashdown coming out of the tower. Not able to start the second checkpoint yet, as Attrition moves them back on a 3-down situation for Luau. As they try to paint up mid, trying to start their own push, trying to get past the first checkpoint.
Try to get past the funny number, let's see. I was actually expecting to end the match with 69 and 31 on both sides, so we can get a 69 on the results screen as well. That's not gonna happen. Attrition getting closer and closer to breaking the second checkpoint. They're starting right now to get the points. 2 down from Luau. The baller in front of the zone, making sure that basically no one's gonna try. The Neo Sploosh trying to survive, get close to the tower, but the Crapid says no, and everyone's just putting pressure on loss. I don't think the Neo Splash was at a safe position to begin with, but it's gonna be lead for Attrition right here, right now. 2 people coming from spawn right now. The Crapid is undergo a lot of pressure from the enemy. Attrition Crapid is just gonna go down. The Dynamo pushing away everyone to get close to the tower. And the inertia makes a point towards Attrition.
Great push by both teams, but Attrition was able to keep it up, just keep it moving after first checkpoint, and that's what you really need from whatever you can do in this game. As we head to a game 3 that is actually pretty crucial.
Yeah, sorry, I choke on a little bit of water here. This is actually gonna be very interesting because Rainmaker is considered the 50-50 mode, as in terms of luck. You either have a lot of luck and gonna get a good points, or basically you're just gonna get knocked down and stuck in enemy spawn and can push the objective after certain point. So like, getting pop here definitely important, but let's see how they're gonna deal each team on their own when trying to fight against this team, against each other. What do you think? Do you think you're gonna see double Crapid again? I want to see it again. Honestly,
I'm not sure about that decision. I mean, we could.
I mean, did you see in the zone they had 3 brushes and a blob on Moray Towers? Even though the 3 brushes lost, It was one of the best matches I've ever seen, not only on Moray Tower, but entertaining as hell to watch in the zone. Just because you don't have a meta comp, that doesn't mean you can make fun with the game, and also not basically break expectations.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an interesting game to watch. Just since we never even expected a double grab, and it worked so well on this map, on that map mode as we head into Anchovy Games, Rainmaker. We almost saw it. We almost saw double grab it there.
We're seeing a
there is
Jet
52.
There are Ray on both sides and a 52.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Ow. Coming on the side. Ow. Probably just perfect time to use that Booyah Bomb whenever to try to stop the push. As we see Cannon going in with the Gal, gets one pick, sees one going up the wall, breaks armor, and gets the second pick too, down on the side of Attrition. Ray comes out as we see a pick go on the side of Attrition. 3 down, one's coming out of spawn. Cannon trying to push up their way to get this pick as they start their push off. Booyah Bomb comes out, but it is immediately stopped. With a pick by Booyah as well.
Yeah, it was a quad actually. I think Cannon got everyone with the guy at least once in less than a minute. So yeah, a quad. Picking out the Rainmaker is definitely a little bit weird for the guy because the majority of the player. But even that the comp actually no, the Crappy could have gone the Rainmaker as well. But I'm guessing that the Crappy is just trying to be an aggressive player overall. The Ray is gonna come in from the Dynamo right here, but the Rainmaker managed to get one going down later to the Ray. They managed to just get to 98 points. The push was a little bit stiff, couldn't do much, but I think Luau still is on the offensive position.
Picked by the Crappit as one of them jumps out. We're seeing a lot of control near Rainmaker by the side of Attrition as it resets. I'm just wondering if they're gonna try and start their own push, but Crappit goes up against Crappit and one Ballers. As we see them pushing in again, trying to see if they can get some picks before they can try and make this push right. As one goes down on each side. Both Crappits actually go down there.
Ooh, the Slushing Machine is just the Gal remaining from Luau. It's the Dynamo and the Zapper. Who's gonna actually pick it up after they take down the Gal? No, the Gal is gonna stand on their ground, surviving with the small little wall, a flick from the Dynamo and from the Slushing Machine. Damn, the Gal doesn't die. But the problem is that the Gal is now stuck, given that the Rapid is now pressuring a lot from office, and they can only rely on the fan. Here comes the Crappit again, trying to bully their way on the top, but that doesn't matter. The Gal now takes them over the head. The Dynamo misses the flick, dies to the Gal. Now it's their time to push. The Rainmaker has conditions here to get closer and closer to the below the Clan Blitz basket. They get closer to it. It's already on the 36 points. It's gonna be very close. Oh, the push is not over yet. Getting the last few points, the Gal will go down, and it's just gonna be the Splash trying to survive the flicks from the Dynamo.
The picks coming from Cannon with Gal as they just kept that push moving and moving as they're still going for it, and there's the pick. 16 remaining on the side of Luau. But there is going to be the reset. Ray pops out from Mixer. Gets one with Ray and is going to be hitting Rainmaker with Ray as much as they can, trying to get a pop and see if they can get some picks. 2 down on the side of Luau.
It's hard to say if the Ray at the end was a good position or not, but because it's a Dynamo, it can still charge another one. We'll see that they already have 70, 80, like it's close to another Ray, so that doesn't... Oh, but it gets picked down by, I think it was probably the Crackhead or the Jet Scotch? I don't actually know, I just noticed that the Dynamo went down, and they actually need to start positioning themselves a little bit. They get 2. It's a 4v2 situation right here. We can see a little bit of a push from Atrocities coming right now. The Slushing Machine almost gets the pick, finish it off. The Zapper pushing in pretty aggressive. So it's gonna be either the Dynamo or the Crappy pick up the Rainmaker. The Zap goes down. They start pushing in pretty aggressive. They get close to the fence. The Surfscape with the Crappy trying to be aggressive and stop the Rainmaker, but it's not gonna do much. Cannon with the 52 Gal shows up out of nowhere and stops, getting 2 important picks. That's gonna be the end of the push of Atrocities with a good wipe.
Solid wipe from the side of Luau. 55 seconds left in the match. We are definitely seeing some great defense on the side of Luau, keeping that push away from their pedestal. we can definitely see how well they've been working on defense as Ray comes out on the side of Attrition, hitting Sir Skit. Not gonna get anybody with the pop, but the crap, it goes out. Dynamo misses the flick. It misses another flick and goes down.
It hit on the baller. That was actually a good shot, honestly.
Yeah.
But now I'm actually thinking that how aggressive can the atrocities be right now with 14 seconds remaining? It's just like a GG Ray already seeing ready. The 52 gal shining with 16 splash right now. It comes Stingray a little bit earlier, but okay. They're trying to just aim at the Rainmaker so they can pick it up, and it's gonna be GG's to Luau with a 2-1.
Solid. They got 3 down right at the end to make sure that they couldn't even get the push. Luau really stepped it up on defense during this match. You can definitely see they've just been working really hard, keeping the Rainmaker out of their base, out of their area. Just great defense overall.
I would definitely say that the defensive was shiny, but I'm trying to... Do you remember what exactly made the push from Luau as effective as it was when they were like from the fan to below? Like that part is something that you need to analyze when trying to understand how to push Rainmaker or just how to push any mode at all. Like trying to find the pinpoint that made the snowball effect. What do you think it was, the snowball effect?
From what I saw, it was definitely Cannon with that 52 cal getting as many picks as they can on the push, making sure that they had as much of a disadvantage, as much as they make Attrition have as much of sorry, I can't talk right now. As much of a disadvantage as they can to make their score go down lower and lower every time.
But now here is the question, like, because Cannon, okay, I know Cannon, I'm probably sounding biased because he's on my team. He was using the 52 gal. On the TC match, he was one of the bottom brats of the sloshing machine. Obviously, I'm not offending him, but I'm questioning yourself. Do you think the buffs the 52 gal got were necessary? Yes or no?
I mean, there are a lot of people that will say like the weapon definitely has been like getting too many buffs. But I guess if it works, it works. Like,
no, I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm saying, do you think it's do you think most people nowadays are using the 52 in order to, because it's such a good weapon and playing with it makes the matches easier on their side, or is it also like I'm asking like what is the balance in between the player's skill and just playing 52, basically like that? Like, is it like an easy mode or not?
I think it's definitely easier for the player just to push up, get those picks as much as they can. We saw from Cannon, just he knew that 52 gal sometimes works best when close range, and even was a little bit daring with Dynamo sometimes going up against that. And since the weapon has a little bit of RNG on it, kind of like in the 96 gal, even though the 96 has a lot more range, and that could benefit. Like the benefit there is that, not the benefit, but the disadvantage is that there is more RNG per shot. It helps. A bit slower. Yeah, it is a little bit slower as well. But it helps also the fact that 52 was made for the fact that it has less range. And you could definitely, and it's like encouraging you to try and go up close and personal as much as you can.
Yeah, it's like kind of playing like Sploosh, and you just try to kiss your opponents, the kiss of death. And you basically, it's basically the biggest reason. Like, here's the thing: in order to get 2 shots from the 52 out, is faster than, for example, a Dynamo flick. which was one of the biggest matchups that we're seeing most of the time, like the 52 versus the Dynamo, and then like when trying to get the end zap, like you don't swim straight away, you swim around it and then you pick it from the side, but just basically getting as close as possible while jumping. It improves your RNG. The sloshing, the same, like basically that's the mentality of the 52 player. You need to learn how to strafe with it and also pray a lot that you get the good RNG on your side.
Yeah. Because you could definitely have some bad days with Gal RNG in general.
Now going for the third round of the group stage, we're gonna see Carnage Gaming and Team CAT-nya clysm. Just a little small joke here. Carnage Gaming, already a fan, previously known as Temptation. They do get a sponsorship, quite nice for them.
Yeah.
Like we can see Red Shell with the TM from Temptation. It's not because he trademarked his name. No, I would never pay to trademark my own name. But it's gonna be actually a pretty very high stakes match for sure.
Yeah.
What do you have to say before we start the match, Valencia?
I mean, there's only like one real player that I know from one of these teams from Carnage Gaming, Rissa. She is a very, very solid player. You can definitely see her getting as many picks as she can, just give her team the advantages. You see this
what
map?
Did she play? And pronounce is cheap for them, right? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, as we see our map, we got Mako Clan Blitz. And I mean, that honestly is one of my favorite Clan Blitz maps, but just mainly for how kind of balanced it is with its layout and everything like that. What do you think about this map mode combo?
Okay, so kind of like in zones, I do expect a little bit like something with splash damage, that being like a blaster, a bucket,
Yeah.
because of the not the high elevation, but because of the many objects in terrain, like the boxes and the
bumpers, all that. Yeah.
What else? I do expect as well. I mean, it's Clan Blitz, so I may see a little bit of a bamboo. We're gonna see definitely some armor. Maybe I want to see a little bit of a 96. Like, I do understand the armor meta is being along the junior and the NZAP. Most people do play NZAP. Some people try to make the H3 work, but I do. Oh yeah, we're gonna. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about the Nautilus.
Junior. Oh yeah, Nautilus. That helps. As look at this comp junior coming out from both sides, and we get a little bit of Octo Brush on the side of Carnage Gaming.
How can we forget the cheesy strategies? Get the brush, walk around at the speed, like places to go, gotta follow the clams, get a little bit of pigs and annoying as hell. Score a little bit of points.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, 3 down immediately on the side of Cataclysm. And there's the start of the push here for Carnage Gaming. And we're gonna see a few more points go in from Shiny. So far, defense has come back on the side of Cataclysm, pushing them back, trying to make them stop scoring, and that looks like it will be the end of the push. As
only the blob alive, that makes sense. You wouldn't go underneath the Clan Blitz basket to just get picked by either the junior or the K-shot. You would give away the terrain. So the blob actually played quite nicely as defensive position.
Yeah, absolutely. You see Violet. Oh, one player on the side of Cataclysm already has a football ready. Missiles go out from Violet as they're close to also making a football, but there goes the pick on the junior on the side of Cataclysm. And a little bit of push there from the 52 gal, and jumps out just in time to keep themselves safe. Losing all of those clams, I believe there were 7 being held there, which does kind of hurt your team whenever you wanted to make a push.
That is true. I like the teamwork that is just off the brush and the 52. The brush was kind of like working as a distraction, while the 52 almost gets the important pick. that would not only although like jumping back it's a pain, but here comes the Cataclysms trying to score their first point. 2 people down from Carnage Gaming. One more down is just a junior on the top right of the map. We can see already a little bit of clams being thrown. Can they score and get the lead? Inari with the rapid, it's gonna be a little bit, it's gonna play a little bit defensive, and they barely get the lead. Oh, a little bit points get scored, but it doesn't see they can go a little bit further with all the sides of the map being blocked by now Carnage Gaming.
Good picks right there, trying to... Oh, but there's more scoring here, and there's the pick. Just rapid on the side of Cataclysm. As they are going to move back, try and collect as many claims as they can for their next big push. As Shiny, with that Blah Blah, we're keeping them at bay. Picking up a few more clams is Shiny, as we see Armor getting popped from Rissa. Bomb Rush does come out, making them go back a little bit more.
I do understand that the junior posting the armor and the bomb rush was not to get a specific pick, but like test the patience of Cataclysm right here with the Nautilus having gone down. It took most of the offensive power. Now Carnage Gaming now pushing quite aggressively, getting as many clams as they could do. They're just a few clams away from getting the lead. Just need one more. They do get it. They missed, I think, one throw over that, but that doesn't matter. It's 40-41 with 29 points. Here comes 37. 2 people already were down, just respawning. And here comes another power clam. They get it the throw. 8 points remaining. There's just 3 small clams. Risa right now trying to survive with the wall, but it's gonna be not enough to KO the match, and they have to back up. But that doesn't matter because 41 to 8 points with 29. Here comes the brush, getting the junior unprepared when he was when they were just sharking in the zone. Very well played, very much of annoying of a brush. Getting close to a power. Basket goes down again. They throw it again. 38 points becomes 26, only to KO. 1 power and 2 clams. Shiny with the power clam, getting closer and closer to the basket. They get a little bit of clams, but the bomb gets the power away. Oh, it's gonna be in the KO game, but unfortunately with 1 minute remaining, Cataclysm has to work together pretty nice. They're gonna try to already throw the power climb that Inari has with the rapid. Nautilus working together, but there isn't much they can do. Inkjet pops up. That Inkjet cannot be destroyed unless they still want to win this game. They are gonna go for the Leroy throw. They throw the power. They don't die to the. They don't get splattered by the destruction bomb. 2 down from Carnage Gaming. 2 alive. Gao just respawning. Can they push even more? It's just 12 points away. 4 clans. 1, 2.
Oh.
But that's gonna be enough. K-Shot just respawned and didn't jump in.
Just in time to stop getting the lead for Rapid. I'm surprised they even made that push there as the pick goes out on the both sides actually right now. As we see 52 trying to move back a little bit, trying to stay with 10 seconds left. Oh wait, yeah, Cataclysm does have a football right now. Booyah Bomb goes out on the side of Carnage Gaming. Overtime has begun. Can we see a final push on the side of Cataclysm? Oh, with the pick! It's just the rapid now on the side of the Cataclysm, and they get the pick, and that is going to be game. My goodness.
I was counting in my head the beeps, even though we don't have sound. I learned you can actually count the overtime flashes. That's something new, but yeah. Once they went down, Carnage Gaming managed to wipe them out and barely managed to get a... I don't think it was going to be a KO with the penalty they had, but they were going to score anyway at the end of the day. First game goes for Carnage Gaming.
Again, solid pushes from both sides, both teams. They kept, great defensive efforts, getting picks, and just making sure that they can throw as many clams in and getting a few power clams in along the way as well.
Very interesting, and quite actually the first time we see the rapid not being the crapid was also interesting. Like that's a niche weapon these days. People don't actually play that version.
Vanilla rapid. Never really see that too much.
We're also seeing, because of a little bit of a niche compilations, I was talking about armor in the beginning of the first match. I was gonna actually get to the Rapid Pro, the second set, if I'm not mistaken, is the wall with armor, right? It's always hard to remember for me those sets. But yeah, Nautilus was the first time. Can Subrush not actually very niche, but like on Clan Blitz can actually work and is an alternative for Hammer most of the time. Yeah. Now I think we're just missing a tent to show up, and we'll have a bingo card done.
Yeah. The bingo card quickly being filled out as we see our next map mode. Yes, zones pump back pump track.
Ah, my God, that's a let's spam many booyah bombs here, please. I wanna see arrow spray.
Yeah. Okay, we got one. We got one booyah. Oh no, wait, there is the booyah bomb on the side of Cataclysm. Sorry,
But I want a
I
more
forgot they have
booyah bomb.
remix. As we see the start, great so turf for the side of Carnage Gaming as they get a quick lead, but it goes right back to Cataclysm as they take the lead quickly from the rest of Carnage. Their remix right now, pocket of Booyah Bomb on zone is both sides. Taking control is Carnage, and they will keep it.
The Inca right here putting a lot of pressure over the Junior, but because they are so close to armor, Risa had to back up a little bit, but that doesn't matter. The Junior has so much baiting power. Even close to the blob, it's just basically not much of a challenge to keep zone.
Yeah. We see the league grows ever larger here for Carnage Gaming. Missiles come out on the side of Cataclysm. Booyah Bomb coming out as well. Not getting control of the zone, but some painting. Oh, solid picks on the side of Carnage Gaming. Missiles come out again. Inkjet out. And they lose control. Can Cataclysm get it? No. Wait. 3 down on the side of Carnage, and it looks like they'll probably easily take zone here. As they grab it.
Nice control.
Great job right there. We got Nautilus trying to lob up some shots against that blob lobber. Armor going out on the side of Carnage Gaming. Bombs galore coming from the blob as well. Good pick right there, but ooh, that was.
Ooh, the trades are happening. The trades are happening. Everyone killing each other.
Oh, Cataclysm still has control of the map. Junior painting as much of the map as they can as they whittle down that lead from the side of Carnage. Can they take it right here? It looks like they will take it. Bomb rush coming out from Carnage. Losing control of the map. Not the map, the zone. Rush goes down and it's down on the side of Carnage. Goes down the gal with a wipe.
Cataclysm gets wiped, and with 17 points on the clock, they don't have enough time to get specials. They have to Leroy, or it's gonna be game. And it seems with that positioning, the brush will be trying to get it, but that doesn't matter. His second game goes to Cataclysm. Wow, that was a weird turnout of events. Like, not saying that I doubted any of the teams, but like when I saw that Carnage Gaming was using the armor and the bomb rush to control the zone, I was like, yeah, that's gonna be definitely a little bit of a penalty for Cataclysm. But no, I honestly think what happened was the suction bombs were not well coordinated that much. Like, I'm not saying it was a bad play. I'm saying that, like, how can I say, when you're throwing bomb rush, one thing you can try to do is throw 2 or 3 suctions in a specific timing that when they touch the ground, they are basically gonna explode in one go. And because it's a frame perfect control of the zone automatically, that didn't happen for Carnage Gaming, and that's why they didn't manage to get control of the zone just for a moment. And because the Junior on Team Cataclysm was still alive, just by like moving the camera a little bit up and doing arc shots over the zone, they managed to outpaint it and still keep the control of the zone. Like, it's amazing to see that a Junior can keep control of the zone for that long. Like, we saw the Nautilus interaction with Nautilus with the 52 Gal in the zone. The 52 was barely keeping its control. Even it's a good baiting weapon, the fire rate of the Nautilus is still amazing, and it's one of the weapons that I feel the 52 needs to fear, and that's why they basically got the snowball effect by that point.
As we head into our third game of this set on Reef, tower control. We see a little bit of the same comp coming from Carnage Gaming. And we do see, it's Vanilla Rapid once again on the side of Cataclysm.
Both teams already have used the first armor each, but now it's Carnage Gaming's armor that is harder to break. They're trying to survive and not get picked by the Blob. The Blob is one of the weapons that paints the map the most if stays for life long enough, but unfortunately for Carnage Gaming, the brush will go down. The Junior almost gets a very important pick up that Splat Bomb. Control of the bridge is for Cataclysm. The Rapid is on tower. With the Bomb Rush instead, it's not even the Inkjet version. They almost managed to get the first checkpoint, but they have to jump out and it's control for Carnage Gaming. If the Blob stays on the bridge, it's gonna be a pain for Cataclysm to take back control of the map, and the tower will definitely break first checkpoint.
Yep. As we see Blob on tower, putting as much pain as they can onto the field. They are gonna easily take lead and checkpoint here. As a little bit of a shots coming off on tower, but they were still able to get a few more points. As that push will end. The Rapid trying to get some shots off on the Blob and Brush. But he's hitting nothing. Was it a pick on Nautilus, it looks like?
I don't know who actually got the splat. I was not paying attention to the numbers. But that doesn't matter. Carnage Gaming has control of the tower for once more. They're gonna definitely try to get close to the second checkpoint and a little bit further. But with the Gal down, Brush has the hammer close. He's gonna pop in right now, trying to take control of the Sneaky. Do gets close to the second checkpoint, but like keeping the pressure from bridge is definitely gonna be hard for Cataclysm trying to take it back. Brush jumps out to someone from their teammates, and they try to break the second checkpoint once again. K-Shot fighting the Junior over the beginning of the bridge, goes down to the Junior and the teamwork, and no ink they had. Carnage Gaming once again breaking the second checkpoint, trying to go for the third one. Shiny and Risa where who is gonna jump to the tower. Armor popping in. Risa underneath the checkpoint and the drop. Everyone's close to tower. Cataclysm is just a few points away of losing the set. They get the pick, but it seems that Carnage Gaming last attempt to push once the Blob goes down.
Yep. Rush still out on the side here near tower. They're gonna... Okay, they stop the tower for at least a few more seconds, trying to see if their teammates can come back for another push. But it doesn't look like it as the Sam goes out, gets the
Gets the Inkjet.
Gets the Inkjet, yes.
I'm actually surprised.
But the Rapid gets him. Bomb Rush comes out from the Rapid, trying to stop Carnage Gaming from pushing any further.
I honestly think what I just saw was like the Brush was revealing their position in front of the Nautilus, trying to get Nautilus come close to us, and basically what happened was that the Cataclysm took the bait and got themselves into 2v1. Even though the Brush lost, didn't manage to get 2 picks. That he took one out, which was the Nautilus with the hammer, but basically that's just buying time for Carnage Gaming to win the last set. Ooh, the hammer throw was amazing!
Oh wow! Ooh, the hammer! Oh, another pick! Oh, but the bomb comes in and gets him. A little bit of pressure there from the Rapid Blaster once again. Ooh, a nice pick there from the Blob is on bridge, so is Brush. Brush getting outmaneuvered and picked, but it looks like the Junior gets the pick. 2 down on both sides. Now, can we see a push coming from the side of Cataclysm is the big question right now.
Definitely is going to be tricky. I think what's happening right now, the defense is not a defensive play from Carnage Gaming, but it is a play that they're not trying to defend the tower, they're defending mid. You see that most of the fight is happening on the bridge. Blob basically has almost close to another bomb rush coming in, and that basically took them this long to get into a fight. It's Junior versus Junior. They can break the first checkpoint right now with 20 seconds remaining, but with Cataclysm having to deal with the respawn team from Carnage Gaming will definitely be a pain. Control bridge goes back to Carnage Gaming. They take 2 down. It's a 4v2, and everyone from Cataclysm is stuck on the far right side. They take the Junior. It's a delayed wipe. 6 seconds remaining on the clock. It's the end of the third game. Basically, the control of the bridge is this map mode or any other mode. GG's for Carnage Gaming. That's definitely well played. Definitely stalling the tower on the between the second and third checkpoint was very well coordinated.
Yeah, having the blob on bridge for most of the game really helped them out. Even with them on tower as well, it's just a perfect painting weapon to try and keep away every enemy player from pushing tower as much as they can.
Couldn't agree more. What do you think would have been a little bit different for the third game on PC for Cataclysm to push? What do you think was like something they could have done a little bit better instead of just changing comps? Like, how would you move your own pawns in order to get the win?
I think I would have probably tried and try to go for as many as. Yeah, try and go for a few more picks. Try and get more control. And another thing is also try. It may be a little bit hard to do this. Try and get a few picks off of the blob just so they couldn't defend as well. So, since the blob kept map control for the side of Carnage Gaming as much as they could, why not try and get a few picks on them? Just give your team an advantage.
So basically going for the long flank and getting the blob. That's definitely, yeah. I can see that happening. The blob, I was keeping track of most of the times the blob was like alive. And basically by the end of the time we saw the hammer getting the pick on the Nautilus, the blob only had one splat. Because that's not what blobs are supposed to do. They're just supposed to keep control of the map. I find it a little bit weird. The blob had to ride the tower and leave control of the bridge. But I think what I saw that managed to control that was the blob going to the tower. Someone took the blob spot on bridge, so no one would flank the blob. So like a swath in between. And because the blob is a more of a less aggressive weapon. If they had, for example, a charger, the charger could stand in bridge while one of the support players would be riding the tower, like the armor spam or something.
Yeah.
But because the blob was already on tower, Risa could get even more close to the enemy team spawn, as we saw when fighting in a K-shot on the other side of the bridge, and basically like getting closer to that specific point of the map where they just keep trading ink color and getting more and more armors. So we're gonna head for the break, Lancer, and we're gonna get a swap for the top cut that we're gonna be starting pretty soon. We're just waiting on a few teams to finish the matches. Do you have anything you'd like to say either about the matches we saw, either the matches we just see, or the teams that you think are gonna go to the top bracket?
Right now I could probably see. It's amazing. I'm looking at Battlefire right now. Space Race actually went 1 and 2. I was expecting them to go into top cut, but I don't know how much we're gonna see of that. Luau? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at the standings. Some teams have already finished. Some groups have already finished all 3 matches.
Yeah.
So we kind of see already 100% Sunshine, DK's Jungle Hijinks, Anime Ties, Luau, Madhouse, Rising Wave, Div 9, the 2nd edition. Yeah.
And Carnage Gaming is even signing to top cut after that win, making them 3-0.
It's important that Space Race and Dababies didn't manage to get top cuts. They're the last teams on Group D. But yeah, that was a good group phase for sure.
Yeah.
So with that, we're gonna cut in from the break. We're gonna give the mic to our beloved commentary friends that are going to commentate on the top cut. Please give them a warm welcome for Brush and Stuttermouse. I don't know their ads just yet, but definitely stick around for more. In the meantime, I've been Super Fern, and
Lancer.
and we'll see you all on the next time.
So, you guys remember when we said that we were going to be gone after that last match? We lied. We're still here. Hi, welcome back. This is Top Cut. I'm excited.
I'm excited, and also I'm kind of sad because I could have said April Fools. It would have worked out well, but...
Yeah, no, we are a few days late.
With the first match of Top Cut gonna be Division, the second edition versus MatR. And sorry that I have a pencil in my mouth because I'm taking notes here. The stream is gonna be focusing mostly on one specific bracket, which we have quite some nice teams because we had like six teams on Division. Sorry, 6 teams on the. With 4 brackets, we kind of see already like kind of the first places on everyone we get here. I think there's a little bit of a few exceptions, but yeah, this is definitely gonna be the single elimination, best of 5, and best of 7, 3 rounds, and we're gonna see Rainmaker Black Belt escape. Oh god,
oh.
Flashbacks of Stingray spam. What do you think,
Nightmare.
Lancer?
Nightmare. That's all I can think of for Black Belt Rainmaker. It can either be a very competitive game, or it could just randomly just be done in like 30 seconds.
Not because of the KOs, just basically the first push could work so well. The Rainmaker is already under 15 points, and anything can do anything.
Absolutely. I mean, you could see a few different weapons from this map mode. Not sure what we could see, but
I'm thinking this is gonna be Armor and Stingray for sure from both teams.
Yeah.
But I think Leon will take the bamboo here because I know him a little bit. Oh no, we get a squeezer. We got no Stingray. Oh joy!
Amazing. We do have armor. Both sides have armor.
Damn it.
Rough. So we see quick pop right there on the side of MatR.
MatR Junior down. It's very
two down on the side of Div9 as we see the quick push coming from the side of MatR. Little slap up. Oh, a pick. I believe that is from the squeezer.
Okay. Div9 trying to come back with the very important stop. That's 48. That's not the end of the world. Anything can still happen. And that was definitely something a little bit sad. The Rainmaker Division 9 going down, their junior going down at the pop wasn't unfortunate because they couldn't do the armor for defense. But even without the armor, Div9 was able to stop the Rainmaker before any good shenanigans, and MatR stop the Rainmaker before they even get away from the zones. It's just basically, it seems that Matrix has the more aggression, or maybe more the coordination to do their pushes, because after 1 minute they're doing another push with Sakura, the junior, already picked up the Rainmaker once again, but it's not gonna be that simple. They still have to pass the ramp.
Yeah. 2 down on both sides as we see with covering up that part of the field with the junior trying to stop this push from going any further, and this has come out. Is there a reset? There is going to be a reset. There's still one on ramp left side as armor is popped. Swift trying to make their way towards the left side. Nautilus trying to get the easy pick on him, but the bucket comes to assist. Havoc, big pick right there, trying to keep their junior alive in a big situation.
I have to admire Havoc and Swift. No way, sorry. I honestly forgot who was the junior. Okay, it was Swift. Because the Nautilus was going for the junior, was going for the pick, but they didn't consider that the bucket would come by, and that got Nautilus out of surprise. That explains why the Nautilus lost the 2v1. It was because it was caught off guard. Right here, Div9 getting close to the 70 points mark, but that's still not going to be a lot of points in order to be considered a good effective push. They still trying to get to the entrance of the maze. The Nautilus right here, even though they just got splattered, coming back and trying to control the zone. Being the longest range weapon with the bamboo, this does put Div9 into a very difficult position, because otherwise it's just the the squeezer that can actually do a lot of damage. Omega can't jump out, got a little bit stuck in the ending, and Havoc finishes off with the missiles.
Missiles Havoc. Seeing if they can get popped, possibly get a push, trying to move up. Points are coming in, down to about 59. Missiles coming out from Havoc. Can they get the lead? No! 1 point away from lead. Great pick, I believe, from Sakura right there, as MatR are gonna try and get the Rainmaker out of their area. But the pick, the quick pick right there from the Squeezer. 2 down on the side of MatR. As we see a few more picks coming in. Can they get lead? No. Bamboo able to pick. Armor saving them, but right there from the mini Splatling, keeping them away from taking lead, as it is 3 down on the side of Div 9.
I actually wanna clip that because that's actually something quite interesting about that push we just saw. The Squeezer was trying to go for the Bamboo, who got a very important pick on the Rainmaker, putting Division 9 into a little bit of a halt on that push. But the thing is that because the Squeezer was trying to get the Bamboo, I don't think they saw the mini that managed to position itself on their right side. And the bubble combo we're gonna see from the Squeezer was well-intentioned to not only survive but to push even more aggression, but it's just that I think the mini was actually not well seen from the Squeezer. That's why they got splatted.
Great pick there on the side of Div 9. They got 27 seconds to at least try and get lead. Bubbles come out from the Squeezer as the Squeezer gets picked. 1 down, 2 down on the side.
Maybe that was just the Juno who was shocking in.
Can they get it? No, but they have the wipe. Div 9 has the wipe. They can take lead right here, and they will. 9 seconds left in the game. Can they get the pick right here to stop it? There it is. Now can MatR really get this final push as they head into overtime. Sakura gonna grab Rainmaker, moving it all the way back to the left side as missiles are coming out from the side of Div 9.
Sakura is the one that took the Rainmaker. That means that they cannot have an armor push anymore, and they have to fight a Squeezer's Bubbles and an armor from Div 9. This is definitely going to be, if so, the highest comeback ever. We're going to see this in this tournament so far. But the Rainmaker is scared. You can sense that they're playing so defensive. It's kind of like, we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you. Here comes, and didn't even have a special. Just picks it off by Swift.
Pick right there from the Neo Splash to end it.
That was definitely a good comeback from Division 9, getting by the points. I do understand that Junior getting the pick on the Rainmaker just stalled a little bit, but the problem is that Junior was sharking, and I think 3 players were over that region, and like if you get picked by the Rainmaker because of that, you kind of get easily wiped. I'm not so sure my commentator it's that much of it, but that's what I saw. Unfortunately for MatR, they have to compensate winning the next 3 matches, while Div 9 only needs to win 2 more.
Yeah. As we head into our second match, which would be Inkblot Zones, we could definitely see. I think we could see Bubbles coming back out again, honestly, with this mode. Maybe a little bit of Booyah Bomb as well.
I think I'm honestly just expecting to see Blob.
Yeah.
We saw so many Blobs in the entire tournament. And
yeah,
not
this
many
whole tournament.
Zone matches.
Yeah. Too much zones, but Blob is very useful on zones.
But maybe, I think perhaps, maybe I forgot one weapon we could have seen right now. It's maybe an Ink Leader that could shine on Inkblot. That could work. Rain is still a good special. The range is quite nice. But not many teams with backline comps this entire tournament. We only saw 1, unfortunately. What else? Maybe we can still see a little bit of Slosher. I mean, Havoc with the vanilla Slosher, missiles, and suction bomb is still quite nice.
Yeah. We are heading into the match. We will see some Booyah, and I'm not sure, is that a foil squeezer on the side of Div 9? And it is. Got some bubbles, got a Booyah Bomb, got a Bamboo on the side of MatR, as we see Havoc going in with Try. Gets one pick on Omega. And can they get the pick on the Bamboo? And they will. 2 down on the side of MatR as Div9 gets control of the zone to start this match off.
Havoc and Swift getting control of the top of the tower. Havoc is basically playing the mid game here, not going for any specific. It gets a pick on the Carbon who just took the Gal underneath the phone. That was well played from Havoc. You don't need to play that aggressive into another 52 is going to do that for you. You just need to support your teammate. 60 points on the clock. Bamboo coming from left side. I believe with Junior. They just pop armor. Havoc trying to get another pick, but unfortunately on the 2v1, Leon gets the pick. They still don't get control of the zone, but Junior and Gar are the only weapons remaining. It's only the Junior. Can they outplay the Junior? Can a Carbon and Mini and then Bamboo paint the zone? They do, and they splat the Junior on the meantime.
Solid pick there from the Bamboo, as they knew the Junior would cause trouble with the excellent painting ability of the weapon. As we see Omega underneath Div 9 trying to get picks off the edge. And they're not going to get any, as we see Bubbles coming out on the side of Div 9. They could take zone right back. Solid pick. 3 down on the side of Div 9, and you saw the Junior jump out. This might be a lead here as MatR trying to keep themselves alive in this tourney.
Now they have to survive. The Carbon was sharking. He misses the second flip, but Leon finishes off inside of the Carbon. The Carbon just gets, I think, an assist because of the burst bomb. Missiles coming in, but Div 9 had armor and bubbles at the same time. Doesn't matter. MatR just needs to play a little bit more smart here, and they can still recap the zone and finish it off with a KO. 2 from each team going down. MatR gets control of the zone again. Swift trying to get the zone from the left side, at least neutralize it. It almost managed to do it, but the Junior can't outpick the vast majority on the other side, and it's gonna be 1-1. This is seemed like a comeback already from losing the Rainmaker, because Rainmaker is a 50-50 mode, but it's a good display of skill in both ways.
Yeah. We saw some excellent picks come from the side of MatR in this match, making sure that they can keep the zone and get the advantage after Div 9 got a pretty solid lead with like 52 points left on their clock.
Listen, like, I'm gonna call back. I don't know if you saw, but like, do you remember when the Bamboo was sharking on one of the side of the zones? The Squeezer shows up in front of the camera. Do you think they knew the Bamboo was sharking there, or they just decided to ignore it? Because like, I think if the Squeezer managed to get a pick over there, it would put less. It would reduce the aggression from MatR, and basically they could have recapped the zone, because the Junior would have to play more defensive since they lost the longest range, one of the longest range weapons on their team. What do you think happened over there?
I honestly don't even know. Just probably a little bit of miscommunication, if anything. I'm just a little bit surprised with that pick that happened in that area, so not sure.
No, actually, sorry, keep up. What are you saying?
No, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna go for the next map, then Clan Blitz on Snapper with if these teams are gonna keep on, like I'm presuming we're gonna see the Nautilus come back, the Bamboo coming back, and of course the Juniors with the armor. But what else? Oh, we're getting the Squeezer and the Sloshing Machine.
We got Bubbles again. We got Bubbles again on the side of Div 9 with that foil Squeezer. I mean, Bubbles do help pretty well with pushing the power slam into the basket, since the Bubbles will most of the time take damage instead of the players.
Nice avoiding death, but not for too long. Leo finishes off the Squeezer, definitely step on enemy on trying to come back. Gets I'm thinking it was the second pick, but it definitely is putting pressure with 8 clams underneath the basket, trying to get the remaining 10. It's not going to be enough. Everyone just respawning. They're trying to juggle the clams. Here comes the first set of missiles from the bamboo. Mini also used the missile, so it's a double missile special combo right here. They have 2 in front of him, but can Leon pick it up and manage to score? The Mini is also flanking, so it makes it very hard, very easy for MatR to push. And Havoc does go down, but still no one pushed. Finally, MatR managed to score, but the bamboo and the mini will go down, unfortunately. 77, great first push, trying to not get the penalty from going to 80-81. Definitely something you should go 1 power and 1 clam if you must.
The armor coming out on the side of MatR. A little bit of action right there in mid, moving back to the junior. Good move there, trying to keep their team at an advantage as we see one go down on the side of Div 9. Sakura making the push, cannot get the kill. They got double teamed there by the Gal and I believe Junior. Gal's moving their way in, throwing a Booyah Bomb towards Nautilus. Can they get out? No, they cannot. They cannot get out in time. Interesting. Oh, there's Power Clam on the side of Div 9. Can they get the throw? And they get it in. And another power code coming in, misses the throw. 3 down on the side of Div 9. Just the sloshing machine and great defensive effort there by MatR, keeping the lead away from Div 9.
Usually I defend that you should throw 1 clam so you avoid a situation where 80-80 becomes 80-81, but we basically just saw that with 77 and 78.
Yeah.
I do recommend, if you're gonna push from underneath, you have to step on the unlinkable in order to not miss, because it's very high of a clamber, a basket in Snapper. But it was a good old effort. You don't need to feel bad if you miss. It's very hard to not get that throw. That 52 Gal is going for the booyahs on the Nautilus. Like, you see how determined I'm gonna booyah. Like, I have a booyah bomb with your name in it, and it's gonna be you, Nautilus. Gets a 2 kill streak right here, right now on camera. Right now, it's basically, I think both teams are trying to fight for mid, but with MatR having the more advantage since 2 of their teammates are just coming back from spawn. Majority of the clans are on MatR's position, and the turf as well. Mini and Nautilus working together, gets picked by the 52 out of the right side. A little bit of weird interaction coming from the Nautilus. The 52 managed to stay alive for a little bit longer. It's maybe their time to push right now. They're throwing a booyah. Are they gonna throw again on the Nautilus? They score.
Score there. Good Booyah Bomb throw as well, but there aren't any clams on the side of Div 9, so they're not going to get any more points for this push. As we see, there's a football on the side of MatR. Bamboo, Leon pushing up, trying to get a few picks and hoping to make their own push. 2 balls on the side of MatR and 1 on the side of Div 9. Busy almost getting the pick. Missiles come out. Trying to find the right people to missile, and they'll only missile by a clam holder. As we see, small push could be coming in soon. Can they get the pick? Splashdown coming out behind Leon. They get the baller. Oh, but there's 2 clams being thrown. And a 3rd one in. And that was a team wipe by Div 9 as...
Yeah, it's 48. Wow, I was just seeing it 60. It was like, damn, that's at least a penalty. That's still doable. But no, that was a very good push.
They got back at it. So we see the 52 moving their way. The engagement with the bamboo did not end well in the favor of the Gal. As we see Swift trying to go back the other way. A little bit of bad decision. No, they get the pick on the mini, but the pick goes to the side of the Nautilus. As we see Bubbles coming out on the side of Div 9, they're gonna score here. Can they get the win in time? No, Gal goes down. 2 down on the side of Div 9. Junior and the sloshing machine are left. Are they able to make it? No, they cannot make it in time, and that is going to be game. MatR.
That was up? Karma.
Yeah.
On the sneaky, I saw that the Junior threw the bomb on the mini. The splash damage of the room didn't get the splat, but it but with the shots from the junior, managed to do just fine. And then they throw the bomb on the junior, and they get the pick. That's
Yeah.
I would say that was a good karma, but like, good games. I was a little bit confused because like it's this map on Clan Blitz. I always find it so difficult to play because like the coordinations you have to go like trying to get the flank. It's very hard. Like, do you think this is one of the hardest map mode combinations to commentate, or is it just me, Lancer?
I don't know, maybe it may be just you. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm just kind of excited just watching some of this Kafka go down.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
Just trying to understand what was like the setup for the push to happen. That's what I was like a little bit confused with that. But I'll later study a little bit more when it comes to this mapper.
Yeah. But yeah, it's 2-1 MatR up on Div 9. So we got Sturgeon Shipyard Tower Control. I don't know. Well, the Squeezer could be switched back to Vanilla since that has Ray.
Also, we're seeing both of these two maps already a comeback from previous sets. Like we saw the Tower Control on Sturgeon, we saw Rainmaker on Starfish, but they're gonna be awesome to re-see it again. I think I'm actually more excited for Tower Control on Sturgeon because it's like I have my things with Starfish overall. But yeah, Tower Control on Sturgeon, I don't think we're gonna see Ray, because if we didn't see Ray on Black Belt, I doubt that we're gonna see now on Sturgeon. So yeah, Slushy Machine, Nautilus, and Juniors, and Bamboos.
Yeah. Could be an interesting match for this set. If MatR wins this one, they're gonna move on to the semis. If Div 9 takes it, we'll be heading to a Game 5 as we start off this match. And we do see Squeezer's back out. Well, we got a Carbon Roller coming in. And it is a foil Squeezer still, so they do have bubbles. Almost the same comp here for Div 9.
Oh, we're seeing a backline fight. Oh, we're seeing the Heavy come back now. This is the second match we're seeing the Heavy on MatR. Interesting choice for sure. And we're already seeing everyone from MatR going down. Div 9 has the opportunity to push. Havoc trying their best to get control over the higher ground. This is definitely going to be at least one checkpoint out of this push. Here comes the Booyah Bomb trying to get the tower away from the checkpoint. Carbon underneath trying to get the Slushy Machine away. But the Heavy... Oh, the Carbon shows out of nowhere! It doesn't get the cancel! It doesn't get the splashdown cancel. That's so unfortunate for the Carbon, but I appreciate the attempt. You did well. It was worth it to try.
Up to that attempt there, 39 points on the side of Div 9. It's now down to 36 as Junior and Machine trying to push as much, and they get right to checkpoint 2. Not going to push it any more further than 31. Great picks right there from the Carbon Deco.
Omega did compensate. I saw the splashdown was going to happen, I think. But I think he canceled just in time. Might be, I'm not wearing my glasses right now. But yeah, nice triple. You deserve that clip. I was expecting Div 9 to start to push again, but no, the Carbon played pretty well. Their weapon. Very nice.
We got a kill from Auto Bomb right there from Omega. As they make it to checkpoint 1, Omega getting a little bit of a flank there on the Slushy Machine, trying to push his way up towards Greats. Do they get past checkpoint 1? Armor's out on the side of Div 9. Matters. Omega is getting solid picks, but the Machine does take him down. Great job of defense right there from Havoc, trying to keep it away as MatR still is trying to finish off this push to take lead.
Honestly, Omega, if you're gonna rewatch this stream later, just remember this point, because you basically went into a killing streak that was amazing from the defense to the positional of attack. It was just awesome.
Yeah.
Now Div 9 still has the lead with 31-43, but the good thing is MatR did break the checkpoint. But so far we are gonna, seems we're gonna go for the game for Rainmaker Starfish after this. Like, they have the control. Junior in the case shot is the only one remaining. Here comes Omega trying to get the Junior. Swimming swiftly away from the Carbon, trying to just save the armor and playing defensive. Omega now trying controlling the spinner. Heavy trying to get swing on the tower. Leon with the bucket. Getting as much paint as possible in order to get a little bit of a misses combo with all the specials that MatR has in combined. Gives him the armor. The Junior uses the armor, basically get attracted by 3 people from MatR. They still have the chance to get the breakfast point. Flushing machine in front of the tower, trying to get the pick. It's just gonna be the heavy. They might get to the checkpoint, but it's not gonna be enough, and it's gonna be a wide with Foil Squeezer finishing the heavy off.
Solid wipe on the side of Div 9. They want to keep this lead. They're only up 5 at the moment. Now, do we think they probably should push up a little bit more, try and get past that checkpoint? But, again, if MatR gets tower back, they really have to think about their defensive efforts. Trying to keep the win alive and trying to head to Game 5, play Rainmaker again.
Couldn't agree more. The first Squeezer being the longest range weapon from Division 9 is playing a little bit more defensive here. It's basically taking more of a heavy position while on the enemy team, the heavy is trying to be a little bit more aggressive so they can start another push. With 1 minute remaining, MatR can still turn this game around, but it's going to be pretty difficult. This Havoc with the Soda Slusher goes down. Unfortunately, Heavy is being triggered by 2. Almost, it gets a double here. We can see MatR starting another push, but here comes the Foil Squeezer with the bubbles. It gets picked, it gets a very important pick, but the Heavy is playing with the team, but that doesn't matter. MatR lost their teammates and has to jump out with 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Division 9 has their lead and basically just charging for more and more specials. This is definitely seems to go down for Division 9, but it's not over until it's over. We're definitely going to see at least they trying to push the tower only so it can take more and more time for MatR to change and get the tower moving on their side again.
And ooh, solid pick right there from Omega. Can they start a push again? No, they failed the splashdown, canceled 9 seconds, and it's 3 down on the side of MatR, and it looks like we are going to be heading to Game 5.
I would have to say that interaction we just saw, like the Heavy swims up, but the Carbon, I think the Carbon had Ninja Squid, I don't know. Basically like, okay, the person is gonna target the Heavy, so the Carbon comes in and steals the kill. Right away.
Yeah.
Was well played, but the problem is that after that, you have to like be aware of who is gonna be your next target. Don't quote me on that, but maybe I think if they would have presumed who to target later, knowing that interaction would have led to a victory, could have led to MatR getting control of the tower at least for one more push. But yeah, that is up for debate. It's just only on paper, something that I just theorized.
Yeah.
Rainmaker Starfish coming back now. Still no Stingray, but we saw that the Heavy is a possibility. Will MatR take the game and survive for the next round, or will Div 9 win Rainmaker a second time? Oof.
Yeah. Sometimes it's gonna be tough trying to win the same mode twice in one set. When it's a best of 5 or even a best of 7 in some matters, but I feel like there is a good chance Div 9 could finish off this comeback from down 2-1. They've been showing themselves as great on pushes and great on defense in Rainmaker from the last game on Black Belly.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Like, this set the movie pretty fast already. Like, we're gonna definitely see very, like, I think right now both teams are taking the longest time to decide. Maybe whoever gets the pop will get the better opportunity, and seeing the comps we had, I honestly think that the pop will go to Div 9. I think I'm having a weird thing on my ear to say, yeah, I was expecting to see Splat Bomb in the Soda, so like,
yeah,
with 4 bombs on the left side, it seems to go for a pop for Div 9.
Well, we do see 3 object shredders on the side of MatR, and they do get the pop early. Havoc trying to paint their way up into mid, but bombs are being thrown all over the place, trying to keep Havoc from pushing up towards mid as we see Div9 actually pushing forward, trying to get some picks. One goes down on each side as we see Armor.
Go down.
Yeah. 2 down on the side of MatR. There, Div9 is going to be grabbing Rainmaker. We see missiles coming out. No one is going to be getting killed here. 2 down on the side of Div9. They're going to try and hold a flank. Sakura goes down by the Rainmaker shot. And Switch is trying to push up as much as they can. They get the pick! Can they do it right here?
Omega just had no chance to outswing the Rainmaker.
The quick knockout! Sending them to the semis!
Oh man,
unbelievable!
I feel so sorry. Like, I was watching Omega going for the flank on the Rainmaker, but he couldn't swim faster than the Rainmaker, so I was like, Omega, the only person left alive, is behind the Rainmaker, but can't reach it, and Div9 takes the win. Damn!
Unbelievable. Div9 showing their dominance in Rainmaker. Doesn't matter the map. They have the power to win these games.
GG's Div9, you are going to be advancing. I believe you are going to be facing 100% Sunshine. I don't think we covered 100% Sunshine. They were the first of the bracket. I see who is on the team, but I'm going to leave it as a suspense for the next for when we
if it's on stream. That
exactly. No, as in like for the people to keep up, because I think now I'm actually right. We're gonna change commentators, right?
We are actually changing commentators at this point. We're not making the same mistake.
No, that's my fault. Don't worry.
Yep. So from us here, I feel I'm Lancer.
Oh, sorry, Lancer.
Yeah, sorry. This is Fern, and we will be heading off for the night. And our next set of commentators are Brush and Stu, the announcer.
Bye.
Bonsoir, mes amis, and welcome to the knockout rounds here at the 24th edition of Swim or Sing, brought to you by the mad scientists over at Inkling Performance Labs, alongside the incredibly talented Alias. I am Mazer Stu, the announcer. Thank you for joining us here on twitch.tv/IPL Splatoon, your home for some of the premier Splatoon action every single week on Wednesday nights. We're getting into the real thick of things, Alias, and I'm not just saying that because there's anime thighs on screen, but also competitors that we have seen in winners finals of these things when they were double elimination as a 32 seed wind up being the 6th seed overall in this tournament. From south of the border in Mexico, it's Mictlan Heroes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were going with the thick anime thighs there, but
I actually didn't mean to. It just kind of happened.
I mean, that's how the best bits come from there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. But yeah, anime thighs and Mictlan Heroes, just absolute juggernauts in this tournament. Thus far, advancing past their quarterfinal action. Mictlan Heroes doing so by a score of 3-1 at the expense of Madhouse, the 3rd seed going into this thing. Anime thighs pretty potent in of themselves. The number 2 going into this. Humor, Sandwich, Acid, and Coffer going into this one. But going into game number 1, seeing Splat Zones at Skipper Pavilion, definitely a quirky map to be starting things out on, but and again, it really just might be a mad dash down into this thing. Cuber gonna try to keep them at distance with that splatter scope. Mictlan Heroes, perhaps a little bit more of a direct approach as we're getting into game number 1.
Yeah,
and engaging up top early, the Brush and the Junior.
Yeah, this is one of my not least favorite, but definitely an interesting map just because of that weird area at the top for splat zones. You're going to see a lot of just skirmishes all around the map like that, even though the main objective is focused down at the bottom. But Mictlan Heroes going right into the objective, taking a very commanding lead to start out with, and it doesn't look like they're looking to give it up anytime soon.
Yeah, they're going to want to hold on to that for as long as they can. A nice little splat there onto Birdie, and that 52 gal, as dangerous as ever. Going to be looking to maybe fill up that gauge. And if they get zone while they're at it, all the better. Only 9 points on the board for Anime Thighs, as, well, they have 40 points on the board right now due Mictlan Heroes, but cutting into that penalty, they're going to look to tack on even more.
Yeah, the one thing that concerned me with Anime Thighs is it looked like they needed that special or suction bomb rush from the Firefin to actually like get into the zone at all. And it's just now coming online again, so they might try and take zone right here. But Mictlan Heroes is just pushing their timer down even further.
Now working through it, Verity gonna try to find any way in or around, but the 52 gal has them accounted for. Verity does have the baller, gonna try to chase them up towards their zone. The baller is going to go down, and some resourceful movement by the 52 gal. That is Lex. Go ahead and flex on him, kid. That was some cheeky stuff to get rid of the special and confirm the splat.
I love watching like people evading ballers or hammers or whatnot. It's just like you shouldn't be able to do that, and pulling it off just looks so slick.
Oh, absolutely. Harder to grab than a bar of soap in the bath, but they wind up pulling it off. And Cuber gonna get that suction bomb rush, trying to do anything to let go of Mictlan's iron grip upon this zone. Cuber just not getting involved in the action as much as they'd like, not able to get a zone on these shots, and approaching them on the platform. Mictlan Heroes step right on up and take game number 1, a convincing win. Anime Thighs simply could not find a way in, and it was not for a lack of effort. Mictlan Heroes, they read them like War and Peace.
Yeah, as soon as they figured out that Anime Thighs was pretty much relying on that suction bomb rush to cap the zone, they were able to counter it with the Booyah Bomb at just the right time, and the suction bomb rush was only able to neutralize it, but not cap it fully. And at that point, it was just Mictlan Heroes flexing on them even more, just getting the necessary picks to take game 1.
Doing everything that they possibly could, and then some, and boy, oh boy, did they do it to tremendous effect. I have to admit, it's impressive what we've been able to witness from some of these teams. Maybe you don't think of them as being powerhouses, but when they work together for long enough, you can do some pretty cool things. It's amazing what a little cohesion can do for a side.
Yeah. Not to mention a little bit of a slick movement from the side of K52. I've already forgotten the name. My apologies.
That was Lex.
That was Lex.
Or at least that was their name on screen. I'm sure that's their...
True.
Yeah.
Either way, I probably
tends
won't
to
be
vary.
forgetting
You
it
never know.
soon.
Absolutely. But Mictlan Heroes, gotta say, moving around pretty well. And, I gotta say, when I was watching... Someone changed my name on Discord, just noticing that. Gotta say, but they... no one's going to get it, don't mention it.
I'm not.
Yeah, but Mictlan Heroes, perhaps inspired by the start of CONCACAF Champions League for you soccer folks out there. Mexico's won the past 16 of those, and, maybe just a little bit inspired trying to get a tournament win for themselves here.
Yeah.
You never know.
Way.
You never know, but either way, it's, gotta say, off to a really good start, highlighted by some really good K52 play, and obviously just, they were doing so well, grabbing onto that zone, not letting it go, but now you gotta be a little bit more mobile with Clan Blitz. Maybe you don't get away with that cheeky stuff on Macomart.
Yeah, it seemed like Mictlan Heroes was favoring like a very aggressive, in-your-face style of attack, and I really like that going into Clan Blitz on Macomart. It's one of the smaller maps, like everything's going to revolve around that center area. And given that we just saw Mictlan Heroes absolutely dominate splat zones, I trust that they're going to be able to hold the center on this map as well.
And Luau, with that Nautilus, I mean, maybe it's time for them to make their mark. They've got 5 clams already, and they took that sloshing machine, out of commission. The K machine just respawning back in, and they're all kind of concentrated onto their left side of the map, but the NZAP trying to build up anything for Ink Armor, but they're getting pushed back on early. I mean, I know that Ink Armor is supposed to help with exactly that, but generally not a good sign if you're getting overpowered that early, especially with no special weapons.
Yeah. It's also concerning that Mictlan Heroes is going to be able to out-armor them, bringing both the NZAP 85 and the Vanilla Tri-Slosher, so they're going to have 2 sets of armor on deck, in addition to the Booyah Bomb and Inkjet.
Yeah, and now it's going to be Dafter getting a little bit of payback on Samage. I'm sure that there were some skirmishes in game number 1 that perhaps they haven't forgotten. Birdie has not gotten a break this entire time. The Inkbrush Nouveau goes down. In this instance, as Mictlan Heroes have a barrier breakage, 26 points on the board, and still more, as I think it was the K52 that wound up getting in there.
Yeah, that was Lex.
Yeah, God, Lex is just making their mark on this semifinal round, all too consistently for Anime Thigh's liking, and just getting the life squeezed out of them, ironically enough.
Yeah, Birdie trying to get out, looking for any way of maybe advancing. They do have 7 clans, but those are going to get sent away by the baller explosion. Birdie getting driven back and eventually goes down to the Tri-Slosher. Mictlan Heroes just continuing to hold Anime Thighs deep within their own territory, and they're looking to get a barrier break here.
Dafter right now just sitting there 1 clam away. Give me a clam, says Dafter. Eventually one of their teammates will oblige, and they'll put more points on the board. 41-0 as it stands right now. There's still plenty of time. 2-2 on the map, but no one really in position to put another clam in unless there's going to be a mad run for it, but they're going to have another power clam. They got it just in time for them to really get chased down by that NZAP. That's just poor timing on Mictlan Heroes' part. Perhaps an area of opportunity for Anime Thighs as they have an Ink Armor on deck.
Yeah, Anime Thighs trying to push forward again. There's the Ink Armor. No other specials online, however, so it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for Anime Thighs to push in. They do push in a little bit, though. We see Splash Wall coming out, and the barrier is broken. A trade on Luau will give Anime Thighs a little bit of an opportunity to actually score some more clams. They just need 1 more to tie. They're going to take the lead off of that, and they're still pushing. A lot of people still in position. Miss the poor clam.
They missed on the power clam. That was their chance. But wait a second. It looks like they're going to try to pop that bubble. Oh, excuse me. I was about to say bubbler. No, that is the baller. Winds up going up there, breaking it, exploding it, and then grabbing the power clam off of that. Cheeky stuff. That's how you use your specials. You want to be as mobile as possible, and if you can do so with any sort of privilege or invincibility, that's just a chance that you cannot pass up on. That push was good for 67 points on the board, and now Mictlan Heroes on the back foot, though. Lex responds back. Mictlan Heroes with the barrier breakage and taking the lead right back as we go to 1 minute remaining. They do get wiped. And it's 71 to 67. This is gonna go right down to the wire, Alias.
Yeah, one thing.
Barrier breakage. My gosh.
Yeah, still a lot of good independent plays. Another power clam being missed.
Ooh.
The sloshing machine is gonna try and get it. They do manage to pick it up, but that is a full wipe on the side of Anime Thighs. And we've already seen Mictlan Heroes have a very punishing counterattack before.
Anime Thighs were one clam away from victory, and I'm sorry that my yells are cutting you off. I'm really not trying to make that a habit, but this game just has a way of getting one to pop off. I really don't know what it is, Alias. Lex with the power clam, with 2 clams. Gonna throw the Booyah Bomb, gonna try to space people out, but Cuber is not going to be deterred. They will get the barrier breakage, but they have 9 clams, but they're all going to go to Oasis Cupper. Mictlan Heroes trying to get in. There's 2-2 on the map. They might have a chance to do it, but Lex has to win these engagements. They will not be able to do it. It's going to be a mad dash as Cass is going to have to try to find a way in, but they'll get splatted as well. Anime Thighs on defense are going to stand strong and take game number 2. Mictlan Heroes, a little bit of a staggered push at the end, but Anime Thighs, they knew that they had to lock them down, and they did so successfully.
Yeah. I want to go back real quick to that one very big push that Anime Thighs had. We did see 3 of the members of Anime Thighs go down after scoring, but massive props to Hubert for managing to stay alive as that backline, give his team a chance to respawn, and also just hold off Mictlan Heroes for just long enough to where Anime Thighs could get a proper defense in.
Yeah, what we have been able to see from Anime Thighs just in that game, it felt like at around the 2-minute mark, they just woke up. They realized that they were in the middle of the tournament. Mictlan Heroes kept themselves in the game and were keeping themselves competitive. It looked like it could have been finished real fast, but they really couldn't get a whole lot off of those first couple of pushes. They were substantial, but Anime Thighs came roaring back. That initial 67 or so point push wound up being the vitamin B shot to the arm, or really to the thigh that Anime Thighs needed, and now it's Mictlan Heroes that have to answer back.
Yeah, somebody went into their group call and just yelled at them like, "Yo, you are on stream right now. You cannot get watched like this." And they, to their credit, they didn't get washed.
You know what? If nothing else, we knew that we were getting a match, folks, but it appears between these 2 teams, we're getting ourselves a show. So, tower control on Manta Maria, perhaps the action won't be as hectic. We got to have a little bit of a sensible pace in the middle of this set, Alias. But, which of these...
But it's like a mid-set intermission of sorts, except there's still a lot of action to be had.
Yeah, especially going up to that second checkpoint, and I can only imagine that would benefit, if it does get to that point, that it would benefit the team with the practice charger, and that would certainly fall under the range of Cuber. Mictlan Heroes is going to be tasked with their movement around the tower, especially around the second checkpoint. We're just going to have to see how that composition of Mictlan Heroes is going to cope with it. And well, getting right into the face, Barity has some issues to work out. Going to take out Luau, but will eventually fall to Cass as the battle for midfield will begin.
If nothing else, this set has been highlighted by some just overall slick movement. Great job by Birdie to manage to dodge most, if not all, of the Nautilus shots right there, and be able to find a pick on essentially Mictlan Heroes' backline of sorts, which is not really a role that you see Nautilus is taking all that often. Good Stingray coming out from Cuber, though, to shut down the push at checkpoint 1. Cat's gonna try and steal as many points as possible, but Anime Thighs will get a person on the tower. And Mictlan Heroes just jumping out again. Looks like they're trying to regroup.
Yeah, I mean, Anime Thighs coming in, found vitality, although although Heroes do have the lead at the moment, it is a tenuous one, especially with Anime Thighs trying to ride this tower forward a little bit. They will take that lead. It probably won't be enough to win, but who knows? With enough of a push, they can make anything happen. It's 2-2 on the map. You might as well take this opportunity, and they will clear the first checkpoint. 30 points on the board, and they are looking to try to get a jump on that platform. That Luau seems to be hunkering down upon.
Yeah, good job by Samage just to have the awareness to get on the tower for that last point, and then immediately start looking around to see if there was another threat that they had to deal with. The tower will reset, so Anime Thighs will not be able to get past that second checkpoint. But still a very strong start as we just crawl under 3 minutes.
And now Mictlan Heroes, I mean, they've been tasked with quite a bit, and now they're going to be put on the back foot yet again. The splashdown is going to get rid of that splash wall, and the K-Machine will go down as well. They could be clearing the checkpoint here, but it's 1-to-1 on the map. No one really there to contest it, and they're going to clear. Cuber is riding that tower with everything that they are worth. They're going to jump on, get a few more points, but that's going to be eventually that staggered wipe. 67 to 29, or to 19, excuse me. Mictlan Heroes have a lot to answer for as we approach the 2-minute mark.
But if there is any time to answer, it's going to be now for Mictlan Heroes. They had a little bit of a chance to regroup after that delayed wipe. They're probably going to get past this first checkpoint with the way it's looking right now. Dafter trying to harass Anime Thighs with the bubbles. Not really going to do much, but just the threat of them is going to give Dafter a little bit of an opportunity, but they will go down.
And Birdie, I mean, you have to think that they'd want to take their take a little bit of aggression out on their opposition. They're gonna go ham on the K-52, eventually jumping right off of the thing. You know what? They're acting pretty hot. Might as well just jump into the water and cool off a little bit. And now Mictlan Heroes trying to keep their push up, but Anime Thighs again stalwarts on defense. Seems like whatever happened in that VC alias, I think they got the message.
Yeah. I mean, you need a little bit of a victory swim every now and again. You see Sandwich trying to get a sneaky little pick on the tower. They are going to get found out and have to jump out. But Mictlan Heroes still having trouble actually advancing the tower. Booyah Bomb is going to make Cuber back up a little bit. That will give them access to just about the second checkpoint, but they won't be able to find it. They are going to be able to find it now, though, as Dafter manages to get a pick. They're working on checkpoint 2, but they won't get it. Birdie hopping on the tower and killing the rider as Cuber forces a little bit more pressure on the tower with the Stingray. Luau going down. Lex on the tower now, just trying to get past the second checkpoint, and they will. But they will go down in the process, and Anime Thighs is presented with a very good opportunity to just hold on to the tower for a little bit longer.
Yeah, and Acidity, again, on that K-Machine, trying to make their mark. And K-Machine, obviously a favored weapon by many. We've seen people show the potency of the machine as a main weapon. But this kit, something about it just works. They're going to try to give themselves and their team a little bit more space with that splashdown. Try to keep Mictlan Heroes away from the tower, and then they will do so successfully. And that is a 67-60 victory for Anime Thighs. And all of a sudden, after that showing in game number 1, Mictlan Heroes, they're on the verge of elimination in the semifinals. Samage and Birdie going crazy. Combined 27 splats among them. That ends up with 16 on their own.
And props to Cuber for also hitting double digits, as well as those 4 Stingrays that definitely helped Anime Thighs on defense.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, with a game as close as that, you really do kind of have to look at the defensive effort that was put in, and it really came down to that second checkpoint, didn't it? Being able to pass that and tacking on as much as they possibly could. They didn't exactly have a numbers advantage during that push either, did they? It was just kind of Cuber keeping patient and having faith that their teammates took care of that upper area that basically makes the tower a shooting gallery as it slides in through the alley. But yeah, it was 1-to-1 on that map when they wound up clearing that checkpoint. Maybe a few had just spawned in, but I mean, Anime Thighs earning that victory, and it doesn't always have to be pretty, Alias. It just has to be effective.
It really does. I mean, most of that push, if I remember correctly, was done with a man down. Definitely on the side of Anime Thighs, but maybe also on the side of Mictlan Heroes. But just massive props to the people on Anime Thighs to just really press their advantage as hard as they could. They didn't let up at all, and it was just that last little bit of effort by Cuber to hop on the tower and just ride it out pretty much until they died that gave Anime Thighs the 7 points that they needed to actually win that game.
Yeah, now as we go to Rainmaker, Anchovy Games, I mean, it is such a quirky map to have to work around. You really need to make sure that your communication is on point. You can't do this without a coordinated push. And Luau is going to go to the Hero Splatling replica. A lot of run speed on that thing. And yeah, Lex with that stealth jump. Can imagine the devious intent that they have on their mind with that thing as Anime Thighs. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Luau with the Stingray early. They're going to break it out and headhunt, and Acidity will go down to it. 4-3 on the map early, and they're going to try for the first push. Mictlan Heroes with the initiative.
Yeah, bringing out the Booyah Bomb and the Arbor. They are going to try and get that push. Birdie being forced off the defense right there. I think they're going to go down to the Rainmaker, but I'm not sure. We do see the Stingray coming out on the side of, I believe that's Coffer again. As Lex also goes down, and Anime Thighs now has a little bit of an opportunity to sort of take back control of this mid area and try and get the Rainmaker out.
Coffer is just nutty, and Acidity jumping right back into the thick of things. 4-3 on the map. Their NZAP is not available. They do have one special, but that Stingray, again, loaded up and ready to headhunt. You would imagine Lex, speaking of headhunt, they're just jumping right into that thing as deadly with their movement as they have been. You got to think that there's someone to keep an eye on, but they've been relatively subdued, all things considered, over the past couple of matches as the Rainmakers chased off of that fan platform by those suction bombs. Lex needs to get up there and make their presence known.
Yeah, Lex trying to find a way up there. They will try and sneak up here. They're in good position for the flank right now. They will get the pick on the NZAP as Birdie's just basically trying to get around Mictlan Heroes' defenses. The propeller lift coming out just in time to actually, I think, save most of Mictlan Heroes from that flank by the brush, but not really anything going to come afterwards, as it's sort of just trying to find a way in. Dafter advances the Rainmaker a little bit further, but they're not going to get much.
Yeah, and Acidity again trying to play a little bit of defense here as it's buried on the platform at the very least, so you know, it's not like you can't access the thing, but Acidity, as they're going to try to help this push out, maybe clear the way for their teammates. You know where that Rainmaker wants to go. It's firing up there with everything it has, just a flurry of shots. Going to see if that can be supplemented by those fizzy bombs. Acidity just jumping up there, but it looks like they will, in fact, get the Junior with that, but the Stingray, as effective as ever, Luau is not going to relent with that thing, and the lead eludes Anime Thighs yet again.
Yeah, and with all that purple around the Rainmaker, it's looking like Anime Thighs won't be able to get it in time, as Lex and Cass just defending the Rainmaker as hard as they can, forcing it back into the center.
That Booyah Bomb is going to help with the barrier. They have some bodies up there too. Luau is firing on it with the Splatling, but a few more. Anime Thighs just throwing people at that barrier. And eventually, They will get that pop, but not in any position to go grab it without putting their well-being at risk. Sam is just going to build up a little bit and try to get armor as quickly as possible. Nouveau is going to break out that baller. Barity is going to make that thing explode and try to get cause a little bit of chaos, and they will go down and get Dapter on that squeezer. Now trying to get even more. They will eventually lose the Rainmaker. Will Mictlan Heroes as Birdie evades does a great job of avoiding the Booyah Bomb. I'm not sure how they did that, quite frankly.
The two champions of movement that we've seen so far going up against each other, Lex on the Booyah Bomb, Birdie managing to find the pick on Lex, and then get out just in time as the Rainmaker's gonna hop up, gets immediately picked off by, I think that was Luau on the trade, and Mictlan Heroes was trying to defend for these last 40 seconds of the game.
Lex does get Birdie caught flat-footed. That is not what you want, and Lex is going to go on the prowl. I think there might have been an opponent behind them. Could be an area of danger as the Booyah Bomb is going to get charged up by Lex as well as the Bubble Blower. Good opportunity to push in here with a little bit of cover, but what a shot by that splatter scope. They are going to take aim, and it is on sight with the charger. They do not miss those. Anime Thighs trying to go at it and maintain what they possibly can. 6 seconds left, but the Stingray will come out. It's going to be a little tough to hit that, and eventually the Stingray, I think, will take them out. Mictlan Heroes with a 4-point lead. They maintain it, and with a 37 to 33 point victory, it is sometimes a low-scoring affair here at Anchovy Games. Every inch counts, and every last inch was needed to bring Mictlan Heroes to a Game 5.
Yeah, with Anchovy Games, it's all about trying to get out of the pit, and both teams did a really good job of defending that. But Mictlan Heroes just able to put in that little bit of extra work that they needed to stop Anime Thighs from advancing too far to take the lead again. So now we're going to go to a Game 5 Splat Zones on Piranha Pit.
Yeah, I mean, that is what a game thus far. Now we know.
Yeah.
You can see there, game number 1, we saw, it kind of gave you the indication that Mictlan Heroes could have run away with it the way that they won that game number 1 on Skipper Pavilion. But again, very unique map, very unique map and mode combination there. Piranha Pit, it is not quite that simple as perhaps Mictlan Heroes made it. Yeah, I mean, the dual zone setup, there's so much ground to cover on flat ground. I can imagine that charger, that splatter scope is going to play a big part, especially reaching across the map towards the other zone.
Definitely. Especially given that, for the most part, Luau has stuck with sort of... for the most part, it was Nautilus. That last game, we did see the Hero Splatling coming out with the Stingray. I don't think we're going to see it again. I'd expect that if we do see a Splatling, it's probably going to be either the Nautilus or the Remix, just to take advantage of those... better specials for Splat Zones.
I could see CDS as well.
I could also see CDS as well.
Yeah.
My personal favorite weapon in the game, if not just because I play it and suffer because of it. But
maybe not. Okay, well maybe not from the backliner themselves. Yeah. But then again, C-Jet, pretty prominent weapon. Not like we haven't seen. We just don't see enough C-Jet. He said to himself sarcastically. Anyway, game number 5. This is going to be the end of it, and they're going to have to write themselves a new ending. Will Mictlan Heroes? Luau is going to try to help with that with the ballpoint.
Yeah, I do like the ballpoint more than the Hero Splatling right here, trying to take advantage of the rain. Will find the pick on Birdie. That was an odd interaction right there, as Luau just kind of trying to perch up on this conveyor belt, looking for a pick wherever they can get it. Mictlan Heroes currently sort of winning, but also on their back foot at the same time as Piranha Pit goes in general.
Yeah, Inkstorm gonna try to cut off that side at the very least. Luau gonna see if they can catch any scragglers. However, Cuber and that Enzap gonna wisely back off and maybe cede territorial control just a little bit. Mictlan Heroes will get that initial cap, but it's only good for 3 points on the board. However, they do have the numbers advantage. That Charger is going to have to hunker down and eventually jump right back out, as Mictlan Heroes are going to get a little bit more of a substantial lead here. Anime Thighs will have to contest, but what a Booyah Bomb. Lex just read them like a book, and they'll get the splat on Birdie. Bartender, make it a double.
Yeah, Lex Luthor just sneaking around up to no good. Gets the double, and that will give Mictlan Heroes a very sizable advantage. Anime Thighs on their back foot, trying to find a way back in. And it's another thing where we saw in the first Splat Zones game that they relied a lot on their specials to actually cap the zone. And currently Mictlan Heroes is just outpainting them without having to use their specials as much, saving them instead for sort of a counter. Lex finds another pick on Birdie, who tries to jump in. Mictlan Heroes has ceded the zone to neutralization, but hasn't let Anime Thighs capture it yet. They're trying to march it down in a clean sweep.
Yeah, and they may well do so. However, 4-3 on the map, Anime Thighs, they're going to look for their opportunity here, and there will be no sweep in the future of Mictlan Heroes as Anime Thighs trying to make this happen. We've seen them take their chunks, their points in large chunks before. Now they have quite the deficit to make up, as 74 points on the board to the 26 of Anime Thighs. That ain't gonna cut it for AT, and Lex is going to make sure of it. That's a double for them. 4-1 on the map, and they're going to try to cut into this penalty and cut into the tournament hopes of Anime Thighs.
Yeah, Lex saving the Booyah Bomb, going to probably try and use it against that Charger on the other side.
Again.
Just looking for a good position. Ink Armor coming out from Mictlan Heroes. Lex going to find another pick on Birdie, countering the Suction Bomb rush with that Booyah Bomb of their own. Not going to do it all the way, as they will go down. Zone's currently neutralized, but Mictlan Heroes just finding that zone recap.
They are not seeding it. I mean, this is... Now, don't forget, Lex did wind up going down because they used the Booyah Bomb on the Suction Bomb Rush, and that was Birdie's chance. They wanted to get rid of that Booyah Bomb. However, it's seeing that dual zone. It's a little hard to cap here, but Mictlan Heroes are looking to count it down and try to get another knockout victory in Splat Zones. This would be their second of the set, and they are at one. They're one cap away from victory. Luau trying not to cede it at all. It's a mad dash for them, and they'll get it. Vamos los Heroes. Esta noche tenemos que ganar. They'll move on to Grand Finals.
Gotta love the Spanish.
Oh, you already know. Hey, your boy lived in Costa Rica for a while, but Mictlan Heroes, 3-2, Luau and Lex. What an effort from them. Look, all the credit in the world to Dafter and Cass as well. Their individual efforts certainly not going unnoticed. Those ink armors are vital in pretty much every mode, but Luau, that difference that we were talking about, that weapon switch to the ballpoint, you pointed it out, Alias, that might have been the key, and they kept winning those interactions on Birdie, who was giving them headaches in games 2, 3, and 4. That made all the difference in that ballpoint. Wow, what a difference that made.
Yeah, just really smart, really good control of the map coming out from Mictlan Heroes. And a very well thought out set. Definitely one of the best sets I've ever seen in competitive Splatoon, nonetheless commentated.
Yeah, no, I mean that was absolutely wild, and a tip of the proverbial cap to Anime Thighs for an incredible effort on their part. I mean, they did not lose that set as much as Mictlan Heroes won it, if that makes any sense. And Alias, I'd have to think that that's a sentiment that we both share.
Definitely.
It's a rough way to go out, but yeah, you go ahead and answer that question that you see on the screen for the producer. Shoutouts to Crack and Mare, the backbone of this stream, and really of Swimmer Sync in general. But yeah, we're going to see how Mictlan Heroes, they have taken down the number 3 and 2 seeds of this tournament. We'll have to see if they can run the table. Mictlan Heroes, the heroes of Mexico, going up, but they'll have to see if they burn or fade in 100% sunshine. Grand Finals is up next, here on Swim or Sink 24. Don't go away. And welcome back. We are at Grand Finals for Swim or Sink, the 24th edition, here on twitch.tv/IPL Splatoon. Alongside Alias, I am Mazer Stu, the announcer. Now, 100% Sunshine, a very talented bunch. Dylan, Panda, Kugo, and Void making up the lineup. And Mictlan Heroes, we've seen Luau and Lex, Dafter, and Cass primarily, but they do have those two subs, Lock and Fear. Now, for those of you not aware, Mictlan Heroes, a team from Mexico, actually taking their name from a little bit of Aztec mythology. It's the underworld, basically the Hades of the Aztec religion. And it's a pretty intense place. You gotta cross a mountain range where the mountains crash into each other, fields with winds that blow knives, and a river of blood with jaguars. You gotta cross that if you want to attain the afterlife. And, well, what Mictlan Heroes, they've had to go through the 3, 2, and now the 1 seed. Alias, if they want to win this, they might just have to go through hell and back.
Yeah, I've been commentating with you for 30 minutes now? And I keep just getting surprised by everything that you've brought to the table so far. Very, very impressive.
Oh, I do appreciate that compliment, but it can't be any more surprising than what Mictlan Heroes have brought to the table themselves. A very talented team that we know they work well together, but I mean, 100% Sunshine have won their sets pretty convincingly. And as we go to Tower Control and Inkblot Art Academy, we did see Mictlan Heroes struggle just a little bit, perhaps an area of opportunity for the 1 seed.
Yeah, Mictlan Heroes losing the Tower Control game on Manta Maria in the last set that they played against Anime Thighs. Maybe this map will favor them a little bit more, it being a little bit more open, giving Luau a little bit more of an opportunity to actually show what they've got.
Yeah.
But either way, we're definitely going to see a good game right here.
Yeah, and here we go, folks, for the 24th time. Welcome to Grand Finals here at Swim or Sink. You already know, twitch.tv/IPL Splatoon, your place for the tops in weekly Splatoon action. Kugo going to come right up to the top, trying to contest Luau, and they'll do so successfully. That K-Machine, oh man, you thought you'd seen the last of them. They will pay for their transgressions, but no one able to even approach the tower on the first checkpoint. Luckily, the bubbles will do their jobs in a little bit of a sea of green. Mictlan Heroes will stop that initial push, but not before 32 points get put on the board.
Yeah, Dafter trying to ride the tower now. They've already expended their special on defense, though. Only left with the Booyah Bomb and the Stingray. Booyah Bomb's going to get popped right now, coming out from Lex, who we saw absolutely tear it up during that last set. They are going to advance through that first checkpoint. They're going to get it, but then struggle a little bit after, but no, they're actually going to keep pushing forward. Mictlan Heroes getting the lead and advancing towards that second checkpoint. Kugo, however, going to shut them down.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Div 9 in that last round. 100% Sunshine wound up beating them by a score of 3-1. Relatively convincing. Won their quarterfinal match as well by a score of 3-0. As Void is going to take to the top. We saw Mictlan Heroes take care of a team that relied on a backliner prior to this. But Void going to launch those Tenna missiles and use that charger. I mean, it's a pretty potent weapon in the right hands, that Bamboozler, excuse me. But 3 go down on the side of 100% Sunshine, going to stop that push, but not before the lead gets attained, 45-40, and the number 1 seeds on top with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, Lex kind of getting snuffed out right there, having to use the Booyah Bomb, trying to go forward a little bit, trying to get this 1v1 win, but they are going to get a little bit of help. Dylan rocking the tag of Dula Pete, going to escape with their lives real quick, as we do see the K-Machine go down on 100% Sunshine. Doesn't look like anything much is going to come of it. Dylan getting a trade, as Dafter hops back on the tower trying to go forward again. They are going to get the bubble pick on Panda, and with 1 bubble left to spare.
Yeah, not doing too poorly for themselves, all things considered, and Dafter going to get that splat onto Dula Peep. We were talking about that. I mean, that's they're gonna have to put in that work, and indeed they are. Mictlan Heroes are going to get this push in, and they will take the lead, potentially able to pass this checkpoint, as they were able to get the sweep on the side of 100% Sunshine, and no one is even able to get from that plat down towards Cass. Though Void will get them down. Couple quick shots from the Bamboozler will take care of that and eventually stop the push, but 79 points on the board for Mictlan Heroes. That's the sort of fighting spirit that we like to see from our heroes.
Good job by Void and Kugo to make sure that Mictlan didn't advance to that third checkpoint. However, they do hop back on the tower, and now they're trying to fight back into their own territory, as Kugo getting stuck in a weird position, going to get targeted a bit by the Stingray, but probably not going to die to it. We do see 1 go down on the side of 100% Sunshine, as Lex just sneaking around in 100% Sunshine's base, trying to just make life miserable, just with, like we saw last set.
I mean, we know just how effective they can be, even weaving in and out of the splash wall. Brilliant stuff, and staying alive. I mean, this dude, quicker than Hiccup, swimming around. You just cannot catch them. 1 goes down, and that would be the K-Machine, 43 on the map, but Lex trying to combat even more, and that's even more splats. That's a whole wipe. Mictlan Heroes ride it across the river Styx and into glory. 1-0 for Mictlan Heroes, and it's a best-of-7 set. 100% Sunshine do have a little bit of footing in this one, or an opportunity to get it, but I think they just got caught slipping by the 6 seeds. Cass and Dafter combining for 25 splats, 7 ink armors from Cass as well. What an effort by the underdogs.
They heard us giving mad props to Lex and Luau last round, and we're like, nah, we want a piece of that action too. Also,
they've been getting it. I really don't know what to tell you. They've been getting all the action that they can handle. Mictlan Heroes has been pushing it to them. That is just the 3rd game that 100% Sunshine have dropped this entire tournament. They dropped one in pools action and one in the knockout round last set, in fact, to Div 9. Mictlan Heroes, I think this is the first time they've been put on the back foot this early on.
Yeah, and look for that dominance to continue as we're going right back to Splat Zones on Skipper Pavilion. And last round, this game did not look close at all. Mictlan Heroes absolutely dominating Anime Thighs on this map.
Yeah, and we were making note of the cheeky movement of Lex and really just the inability for that backliner to really get much of anything to establish themselves. It's like they were fighting 3v4, and that's not a knock on that charger. It's really just a testament to how well Mictlan Heroes were able to close space and isolate them to the point where they really could not impact the match at all. So it really might come down to how well that Bamboozler on 100% Sunshine establishes themselves and makes themselves an annoyance as opposed to getting annoyed, let's say.
Yep. I don't know what Void plays. I would expect that if they're sticking with a charger, it's probably either going to be a Bamboozler or maybe that Firefin that we see on Splat Zones a lot just because of the Suction Bomb rush. But we also were able to see Mictlan Heroes counter that Suction Bomb rush really well last set as Cuber on the same charger was pretty much only able to get away with capping the zone once with that. But we are going to see the Bamboozler coming out. Similar comp to that Game 5 last set from Mictlan Heroes. Luau on the ballpoint again. Again, another skirmish almost taking place up top between Void and another player on Mictlan Heroes. As we do see Ink Armor and Tenta Missiles coming out right off the bat from 100% Sunshine. But Mictlan will capture the zone first as Lex goes up against Void once again.
The Squeezer will go down, however, on the side of Mictlan Heroes. 4-3 on the map, and Sunshine are going to get their hands on the zone. Mictlan Heroes, we've seen them wrestle control away before, however, and seems like one of them just sort of dissolved into the ether there. That was a weird visual. Nevertheless, Dafter going to provide a few more nightmare sights for 100% Sunshine, and they've been doing so at a pretty effective pace thus far.
Yeah, Dafter just being able to exploit the range of the Squeezer to go ahead and make life a little bit harder for 100% Sunshine. We do see the Suction Bomb Rush coming out from the Neo Splash-O-Matic this time, able to take the zone, and now look for 100% Sunshine to try and establish their position in the center a little bit more.
Void trying to get these quick shots off, and they actually wind up getting it against an Ink Armored CAS, CAS, however you want to pronounce that. And Luau goes down as well. Void taking aim and keeping the goal within their sights. Mictlan Heroes did have control. They were trying to cut in on that penalty. 100% Sunshine will try to cut in on theirs. 49 to 34 on the board right now.
Yeah, penalty points continuing to rack down. Surprisingly, no one has died yet, as we see Dylan launch all the way off to the other side of the map. Couldn't quite get past, or didn't want to have to deal with Lex in the middle. The bubbles coming out, but aren't going to find much, as we see another member of Mictlan trade with, I believe that was Dylan on the Squeezer. And 100% Sunshine just keeping Mictlan Heroes out of the zone, not letting them get an opportunity to capture it. They will get it really quickly in order to establish a penalty, but it goes right back to 100% Sunshine immediately after.
Dula Peep finally getting a read on Lex's movement, and it's 3-1 on the map. 100% Sunshine gonna try to cut in on this penalty. They may well be able to do so. They already have 80 points on the board, looking to add to it, as there's going to be a little bit of contention from up top. Dula Peep are going to have to watch out for this avalanche of minty green washing in on them, and Dula Peep will be forced back into the zone in a little bit of a mini bomb rush there. No one going down, just as I say that, Junior goes down, and Luau and company are going to jump in and take the zone, but the bubbles are going to push them right back out. Mictlan Heroes are going to get caught in the middle of the jump. Dula Peep doing that work, popping some bubbles on the squeezer. Yo, who's ready to have themselves a party? Because bottles getting popped, and you better believe they are looking to host whomever they would like on this zone.
Yeah, Ink Armor and Tendon Missiles coming out from 100% Sunshine. Booyah Bomb will neutralize the zone, and they will get it, but Cass does go down immediately after. Currently 2 down on the side of Mictlan Heroes, and now only Lau's up. Spotshot Jr. respawning in just in time, but not going to be able to do anything, as 100% Sunshine recaps the zone, and Kugo just trying to build up that Suction Bomb rush so that way they can just ensure that the zone stays in their control.
2 specials online, and yeah, that Suction Bomb launcher trying to maintain that control, making sure that no points, nothing you will have to add on to this penalty, and you are going to like it, says 100% Sunshine, as they will maintain control of the zone and try to cut in on their penalty. 87 points, and they do have a rainstorm. Dafter trying to hide in plain sight. Kugo says, no, you don't. And trying to get a weird shot in behind that splash wall. They may well get the knockout, but the Booyah Bomb is going to try to prevent it. It will not come out in time. And 100% Sunshine get the 100 points for the KO. And that was on the backline. Void, we do know is Kiwi. Yeah, not bad of a performance on that Bamboozler. 10 splats leading the field, in fact. Better believe those 6 Tendon Missiles to try to scramble the positions were key as well. But yeah, that's just how it goes. Sometimes it giveth, sometimes it taketh away.
Yeah. Mictlan here is definitely feeling both sides of the... As we go back to another game mode, this time one that we saw them lose in their set against Anime Thighs. Clan Blitz on Mekomart.
Yeah, and this is perhaps a chance for Mictlan Heroes to redeem themselves, but I kind of wonder, it took a lot to get that game 1 victory. They were grinding things out and really had to do a lot and spend a lot of energy. Is a little bit of an emotional 5-game set the last time. Perhaps 100% Sunshine coming into this, maybe they have a little bit more left in the tank. I kind of wonder how they are going to combat Clan Blitz at Macomart, because they know kind of what doesn't work, and I can only imagine that with Void, Kiwi, however you may want to refer to them, on that Bamboozler, that 100% Sunshine are going to want to be even more aggressive than even Anime Thighs were.
Yeah, definitely. Especially given how aggressive Kiwi was on that Bamboozler. They were right in the thick of things. You even saw them get that pick on Cass, even with the Ink Armor coming out. But we're probably going to be seeing just a very aggressive comp coming out from both sides. I don't think that anything changed for 100% Sunshine. Luau on the Nautilus this time. Dafter rocking the Tri-Slosher. I think this is actually the same comp that we saw last set on Mekomart.
I want to say that you're right, but yeah, Dafter going off into the Tri-Slosher. You better believe that's we're seeing all the stealth jump, and for good reason on the side of on the green side, Mictlan Heroes. But yeah, Dafter trying to make their presence known. The Ink Armor is ready to go. It's vanilla Tri-Slosher too, so yeah, you want to be able to, you want to keep your opponents alive. Keep your opponents alive. You do not want to keep your opponents alive. You want to keep your teammates alive. One of these days, I'll learn how to commentate, Alias. I promise you. As Mictlan Heroes are going to get that first barrier breakage, Lex is going to go down. So a little bit of a short-handed push here, and indeed not much of a push at all. Gets 20 points on the board, but you also just gave him the pity clap.
Yeah, good team effort by Mictlan Heroes that unfortunately just fell apart due to the great defense from 100% Sunshine. Kugo on that Neo Splash-O-Matic threatening a power claim. They have 9 at the ready as we see their the pity claims be put into play and start to mobilize. Dafter holding another power claim for Mictlan Heroes, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do anything with it right now just because of the bad spot. Suction Bomb Launcher coming out, trying to force Mictlan Heroes out of position a little bit, but Kugo will go down, thanks in part to the Inkjet coming out from Luau, who also goes down, as we're now 3v3, Lex going down as well, and 100% Sunshine Presenter with a great opportunity to strike.
And Dafter can't really even do much of anything, but they will actually try to sneak one in. They're going to try to go on the higher level, and they will... Oh, but they broke the barrier right before they could dunk it in themselves. That is just cruel. And 4-2 on the map. They will pile in even more. Well, 100% Sunshine. And Void and Panda are going to drop in a few more clams. Kugo trying to get in on the action. And I think they got one. And yeah, Kugo is going to unload their clam payload just a little bit. Panda got in a few before they could, and that's going to be the KO. They just kept coming. It wasn't exactly in waves, but death by 1,000 cuts and 100% Sunshine have Mictlan Heroes staggered just a little bit on Clam Blitz. Again, they will suffer the loss in this map and mode. Panda leading the way with 6 splats, and yeah, those 4 ink armors helping to keep their opposition alive. But again, giving up a pretty big push at the midpoint of a game, and 100% Sunshine, they had the efficacy to finish the job.
Yeah, there's that wind of knives that you were talking about a little bit earlier. As you said, death by 1,000 cuts. They just kept coming. I liked what Dafter was trying to go for. I think they had to go just into the mid area, but having Dafter be out of position, trying to recover the power clam while also having to deal with another player, as well as the barrier being broken, it just didn't wind up working out. And that just kind of left Mictlan Heroes out of position for a good part of the game.
I mean, it's just one of those worst case scenarios for Mictlan Heroes, isn't it? Because I have to respect the resourcefulness and really just the industry in general for that for the Tri-Slosher to go for that there. I mean, Dafter, that is, you know what, that is the right play, because it's not what the opponent is expecting. But I mean, that power clam, they threw it as soon as the barrier got broken on the other side, and from there, at that point, you're in no man's land, and you already have someone down on your side. The basket's being defended by two players, none of which are kind of your designated defensive dude. So that's just a rough way to go about things if you're Mictlan Heroes. And now you just kind of have to hope that your synergy is a little bit better on Rainmaker, Snapper, Canal, because you have no choice but to have it be so.
Yep. On the bright side for Mictlan Heroes, they have at least one more game before the pressure really turns up. We are in best of 7, so it's first to 4 wins. 100% Sunshine still needing 2. But we are going to see something completely new. And by completely new, I mean we didn't see it last set. We're going to Rainmaker on Snapper Canal for Game 4.
Now, we have seen this map and mode in the past. We've seen just how effective a defensive approach on this map can be, and Luau is going to indeed switch off to that C-Jet. Hey, remember how I said we haven't seen enough of it? Well, here we go. That's where being sarcastic gets you, folks, as Void, Kiwi, however you want to call it. I mean, a fruit by any other name is just as bitter to cast as they will go down, and Void on the warpath already, as they will be faced with Bubbles early on in possession of the Rainmaker.
Yeah, Booyah Bomb trying to shut Panda holding the Rainmaker down. Won't quite get it, as Mictlan Heroes again just being put on the back foot. Dylan popping the bubbles. They're looking to take out this C-Jet C-Jet with the Stingray. Panda having to retreat a ways. They will go down to Lex though, as Lex Luthor just sneaking up. Villainous intent, taking out the Rainmaker, preventing what could have been a bad situation for Mictlan Heroes, and they will be able to convert, getting a double afterwards. That's 2 down on the side of 100% Sunshine. That's going to be the lead for Mictlan Heroes, but they will lose the Rainmaker immediately after.
Lex with the Booyah Bomb, and they're just trying to see where the defense is coming from, trying to catch one. They're seeing a few burst bombs coming from that way, and it's going to be Lex that is deployed to hunt for it. It looks like they're trying to engage Kugo, as the Rainmaker will be reset. It is 11-10 on the map as it stands. Somehow, Alias, I don't think this is holding up.
Yeah, there's just something about it. I don't know. Just
Call it a hunch,
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, Panda is going to see maybe if that can happen. They're going to have an Ink Armor, a little bit of sustainability on their side, and they're going to get cast in the back as Panda, after popping that Ink Armor, is going to grab it, but that Stingray is going to see to the end of that particular run as Luau is going to take them down. And, I mean, Luau has just been popping off with this C-Jet. We know it's good, but man, kind of starting to wonder, is it the weapon or is it the wielder?
I give it like 10 to 1 odds. It's the wielder. We've seen Luau just absolutely dominate throughout this entire tournament. Got to see a lot of it last set, seeing a lot more of it this set. 2 down on the side of 100% Sunshine, and there's the lead. Again, just getting pushed up a ways, going all the way to 29. Good Stingray. This could be a KO.
That's it!
And it almost will be, as Cass getting killed right as they were about to dunk it. I think 100% Sunshine has the ink output to prevent this, as well as that object shredder. But Lex trying to kill the Rainmaker in their own territory, going to get shut down by Panda. 2 down on the side of Mictlan Heroes. They have a chance to advance it if they want to, but I don't know how well they're going to be able to do that, especially with Luau still up on that C-Jet.
I mean, they need the KO. They need to take care of Luau as quickly as possible. As soon as that Stingray gets deployed, it becomes that much harder. And Panda, I mean, they're making it so hard to get to. Lex making sure, hey, you want to get to the big boss? You got to get through the top henchmen, and Lex is getting their hands dirty and taking down all customers. That's going to be a trade. Stare into the void, and the void shall stare back. But 100% Sunshine not able to get through. 3-3 on the map. It is even Stevens in that front, but it is very much anything other than even Alias on the scoreboard as it stands 38-99 in favor of the Squids from Mexico.
Yeah, Dylan almost running into a suction bomb there. 100% Sunshine unable to retake the Rainmaker while they still have that advantageous position to do so. Only 45 seconds remaining in this game for 100% Sunshine to actually put together some sort of push, and they only have the Tenna Missiles and the Bubbles left. I don't know if that's going to be enough, especially having to deal with Bubbles and a Stingray coming out from Mictlan Heroes if they decide to go that route.
Panda holding on to it, but getting chased down by that C-Jet. Oh man, that is cheeky stuff coming in from the side. Panda trying to think, maybe I can do this on my own, but those burst bombs, very real indication that they know maybe that side push is going to be a little harder than they anticipated. Certainly with 3-3 on the map, and the Neo Splash-O-Matic goes down as there were 5 seconds for, and they will have to maintain possession through this Stingray. No one is there to contest Luau up top, and that is going to do it. Mictlan Heroes, they are knuckling up and saying they are ready for a fight. They were 1 away from that KO, and what a brave push in that wound up being. Lex getting down and dirty in the trenches with 10 splats. Those 6 Booyah Bombs definitely consequential on that side, but 100% Sunshine never did quite get that numbers advantage to get that big push in as well, and that was the difference, and especially being made so on that backline by Luau.
And essentially now, it's a glorified best of 3. 3 games left. Next team to take 2 wins is going to be your champions for Sink or Swim 24. They're Swim or Sink. I can never remember the order. It's almost like this is my first time commentating this tournament.
Yeah. Swim or Sink, and I mean, it really is their choice, isn't it? And especially on Tower Control Starfish main stage, where you have so many little individual places for a backliner to prop themselves up. Mictlan Heroes have shown that they are able to just kind of keep at a distance and play the safe game, especially when, I mean, when Luau is on, the entire team is on. The entire team is enabled to do so well with it. They don't even have to devote that many resources because Luau has proven that they can kind of keep themselves alive going one-on-one and making sure that they're able to support right back and keep the ball in the Mictlan Heroes' half, as it were. But 100% Sunshine, they need to find an answer for that, and they need it fast because they basically got Stingray to death in that game 4.
Yep. I wouldn't expect to see anything different here. But one thing I am excited to see is Lex on the flanks on this stage. This stage, lots of opportunities to just sneak up on someone, and we've seen Lex just absolutely, like, amaze at sneaking up on people and killing them.
I mean, it's we've seen crazier, and now it's going to be time to ride the tower on the main stage. What do you say about opening up this pit, folks?
Alright, we're going to see Luau on the heavy splatling, so we are still going to see that Stingray, but just a slightly different main weapon. A little bit more of a conventional pick coming from Luau. And already we see Lex on that flank, just waiting for their opportunity. Gets the armor. They're going to get spotted almost immediately by Kiwi, though.
Well, it does kind of make sense, doesn't it? You have, you want to be a little bit more stationary. You kind of know where the nests are if you are the backliner, as Lex, again, going to get right into their face. I don't think they're exchanging Christmas cards anytime soon. And Lugo, excuse me, that's going to be Void taking him down. I saw the kill feed there just for a second. Dafter, yeah, it's a pretty messy affair, all things considered, as Mictlan heroes have been staying on the tower. Dafter is going to have to jump onto it and keep the ride going. Dafter will be forced off, as again they find themselves in the sights of that Bamboozler, who goes down still. 53 points on this initial push, but they're getting right back on it as they see they have the numbers advantage. Cass, they're staying vigilant as well, not even trying to build up armor all that hard. Why would they? They have the advantage as it stands. And this is a pretty impressive little push here from Mictlan heroes. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop this unless they change their tact.
Yeah, that was an extremely dominant position from Luau. As they already get down past checkpoint 3, tower control was probably the best game mode that we've seen from Mictlan heroes so far in these last couple of sets. And already pushing it down to 5. We haven't even gotten through 2 minutes of the game. And they're just still going to continue. One down on the side of 100% Sunshine. They will lose the tower again, though. But it looks like losing the tower is not stopping Mictlan heroes from pushing forward.
I mean, it's staying in the half of 100% Sunshine. That's never a good thing, as Kugo gonna try to contest the bubbles up there with the fizzy bomb. However you like your carbonation, they just want the kills, and they're gonna try to establish themselves from up top, try to rain pain from above, and now below. However, they will get the jump out, as both squeezers on the squeezers on both sides will go down.
Yeah, Mictlan heroes also losing Cass on that end zap. Gives 100% Sunshine a little bit of an opportunity. We see Lex again just deep in the base of the enemy team, just trying to get around on that flank. Still haven't gone down yet, so they're probably out there fighting to this day. But I mean, 100% Sunshine will get past this first checkpoint if they keep it up, and it's looking like their 4 players have an extremely dominant approach right now too.
I mean, let's look at the positioning up here, and we see Lex with the Booyah Bomb coming through, and it was well placed. It became 42 on the map, and basically only the Junior is left on the map right now before they respawned. Lex doing some work to stop that push. 53 points ain't going to be enough for this one, just because that one push by Mictlan heroes, it was so steady and so effective, Alias.
It was incredibly effective, as Lex, again, just in great position to make a play happen right here. Going to get sort of stuffed out by Kiwi, who eventually finds the kill. Just towing the wire right there on that edge. I'm kind of surprised they haven't fallen off yet, but what with the great movement that we've seen coming out from both these teams this set, I shouldn't be surprised at all.
100% Sunshine. Number 2, 100% Sunshine. Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off there, buddy.
That's perfectly fine.
Oh man, but here they go, trying to get this push in on their own. They need to clear that third checkpoint. They have the numbers to do it. 4-1 on the map. They could get the lead here. The missiles will go fine. That's going to be a knockout. 100% Sunshine. 100% dominant in that final phase. They needed exactly that. That clearance of the checkpoint comes a lot easier when you get those individual kills. And Mictlan Heroes, it looked like they got called out just a little too easily. Dula, Peep, and Void leading the field, 10 and 9 splats apiece. Luau making their presence known, especially on that early push. They got 10 splats themselves. But guess who's counted just a little bit more, Alias?
Yeah. And now 100% Sunshine only needs one more game, and it could be either Splat Zones on Piranha Pit, or if they lose that, Clam Blitz on the Wreath. And again, we saw 100% Sunshine play really well on both Splat Zones and Clam Blitz earlier this set. They took both of those games back to back. So Mictlan Heroes has to be ready for these.
And I have to say, so much of that was set up. It's just those little smaller plays that you might not be able to notice right when the things happen. Because we notice like the kill feed. We notice when the specials go off. We notice how impactful that is. I mean, for example, Lex with that defensive stance that they were trying to take just before that that big push happened, where they got to with the Booyah Bomb as they were trying to close in on the tower. But I mean, Kugo was just as impressive as well, just throwing out those fizzy bombs. And as they go back to the Neo Splash-O-Matic, they're going to try to win this one alongside Dula P Panda and of course Void, as Mictlan Heroes will be combating the switch over to the ballpoint. Luau means business this time. They're trying to achieve a signature win here at Swimmers Sink 24. Well, they'll have to do so on Piranha Pit to start things off, to tie it up at 3. Kugo doing everything they can to prevent that from happening as the special comes out.
Yeah, almost getting nicked by the Booyah Bomb right there. Kugo will be able to use that Suction Bomb launcher to find the zone cap, but Mictlan Heroes responding right back, neutralizing the zone already, and looking to try and take out this, or trying to recap this other zone that 100% Sunshine had a pretty good hold on. Kugo going down after the fall-off damage right there from Dafter on the Squeezer. Mictlan Heroes taking the lead. But if there's anything that we've seen this set, it's that leads do not stay constant throughout the set.
Dafter now on the Squeezer. I mean, they've been pretty effective on this thing. And really just how well they've been able to leverage their position with those flat bombs, just kind of rolling it up, getting those quick kills, and the defensive utility of the bubbles cannot be understated. It looked like someone went down 3-2 on the map in favor of Mictlan Heroes. They're trying to count this down. They're more than halfway now, as Panda trying to get control of both zones at the same time, and they will be able to do so single-handedly, and they get an armor for their due diligence. And yeah, just about anyone's game still, but 100% Sunshine, they got to close this out. And obviously, yeah, armors are an important part of that, but they might need a little something extra. Panda trying to provide it with some splats on their own. 3-2. I mean, what's the crux of their game plan here? What's 100% Sunshine trying to do to finish the job?
I think for the most part, it's just keep doing what they're doing right now. Just get these individual picks on Mictlan Heroes when they can, have those specials in their back pocket ready, and pretty much just stay on the board. Whenever Mictlan Heroes has been able to get even like 1 or 2 picks on 100% Sunshine, they've had a little bit of trouble actually contesting everything that Mictlan Heroes has been doing. But when 100% Sunshine has all 4 members on the board, they play like no one else in this tournament.
And these bubbles are becoming increasingly consequential as 100% Sunshine was able to take the lead. 3-1 on the map, and Mictlan Heroes will try to cut into their own penalty. Potential lead change here if they are able to win this next team fight. They're seeing that fight on the far right of the screen. CAS trying to throw a suction bomb, chase them off of the platform. Come down here and fight me like a man, says Cass, as they're going to try to goad that Bamboozler into a fight. They're having none of it, trying to get these picks. 4-3 on the map as the Splash-O-Matic goes down. And it looks like Mictlan Heroes will be able to get the lead back. But just as I say that, they do lose control. And, okay, well, there we go. Able to get it back. This game has me just a little bit nervous, and I imagine 100% Sunshine might be feeling the pressure as well.
Yeah, 100% Sunshine does manage to neutralize the zone, and it looks like they will get the capture. Real quick, just adding that penalty points to Mictlan, but they don't get a pick. It's still 4-on-4, and even though 100% Sunshine has been playing lights out, having all 4 members on the field increases the chance that one of theirs is going down, as we do see Void go down. However, 3 go down on the side of Mictlan Heroes. Lex, the only player left alive, they're just trying to stall for as long as possible. They have the Booyah Bomb online, but they're just going to jump back to safety, as 100% Sunshine able to cut into their penalty points, trying to lock Mictlan Heroes out.
I do believe that was the double MPU Splash-O-Matic that we saw putting in that work, as Void is going to try to help finish up the job. But for 100% Sunshine and get this lead back, they got to get control first. But it is hotly contested. Too many bodies on that zone for them to really do anything. Trying to render that Bamboozler meaningless with the Splash Wall. Lex, a thorn in the side of their opposition, as they generally are. And they're a dangerous one at that. Stabbing right through the heart of the Bamboozler. 2 on the map, and 100% Sunshine trying to count down, but again contested on the far side. If it's not one place, it's another. It's like a game of whack-a-mole as we're going to 15 seconds remaining. The last 10 seconds, will they be the last 10 of Mictlan Heroes Tournament? 100% Sunshine take the lead as we get to 6. Dula Peep goes down, 4-2. Map, Mictlan Heroes, sure, they will get control as we go into overtime. Lex are able to take down the Bamboozler up the top, 4-3 on the map. This is far from over, Alias.
Yep, they have to hold on to this. They lose control temporarily of one of them. They have just 18 ticks left. Luau trying to lock them out. No specials left. No specials left for 100% Sunshine.
Oh, they're gonna retake it here. No, they're down. And 100% Sunshine, standing tall, let the light shine in. They are your Swim or Sink 24 Grand Champions.
Yeah, just a really phenomenal job to retake that last zone. If Mictlan Heroes had just a little bit less penalty time, I'm absolutely sure we would be going to a Game 7 right about now. But just a little bit too much to handle for Mictlan Heroes. But great job, nonetheless, at getting here through this tournament. Blazing past both the 3 and the 2 seed before taking 2 games off of the 1 seed, which is, what, the same amount as the rest of the teams in the tournament combined?
Exactly, and I mean, Mictlan Heroes went down in 6 games, but my oh my, it was not for a lack of effort, fighting to the bitter end, but did not have the resources. As you said, no specials to maintain, and the team that had the specials at the end, with the Bubble Blower and the Suction Bomb launcher, that's the team that wound up winning it all, and it's credit where credit is due. Mictlan Heroes were willing to fight it out anyway, but there's only so much that you can do in the face of that, and that was 100% Sunshine driving the darkness away here on this, the 24th edition of Swim or Sink. Number 25 coming up next week ought to be a special one. We'll see if we can get some special talent coming out for that, but it seems like we had some special talent coming out for this one, because my co-commentator, Alias, was absolutely splendid. Job well done to you. Where can they follow you on social media?
I do have a Twitter. I never use it, but if you want to follow me for the occasional post, it's at alias_handle on Twitter. Outside of that, I'm just around in a lot of other places in the community. I'm also going to be commentating 3 other events on Saturday, as well as helping out with Pride as well. I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. I mean, you're putting in the work. Definitely respect it. And speaking of putting in the work, please follow Kraken on Twitter.
True.
Oh my god. I mean, the dude, actual backbone of this. They're raging always in the chat. Go ahead and hit them up. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Yeah, listen to IPL Splatoon. Don't follow Kraken. Sorry about that. I stepped out of line and I apologize.
I will
feel
say,
free to...
following Kraken might make his night a little bit better. I know it got a little bit soured after his prediction of a 4-0 sweep got shut down immediately after game 1. But
yeah. Shouldn't have bet all those points. Now you can't buy that literally nothing but expensive, man. I'm sorry about that. But nevertheless, if you are so inclined, you can follow me on Twitch and Twitter at StuTheAnnouncer for some suboptimal gameplay by a subpar caster. That's where you want to go. So shout outs to the entire TO. Shout outs to the entire TO crew. Look, it's my branding, okay? But yeah, shout outs to the entire
can't say
TO.
no to branding.
Exactly. Come on, man. That's all we got to go on. But shout outs to the entire crew of TOs that make this happen every single week, adding on some EU events and Oceania. Inkling Performance Labs opening up branches all across the world. We hope that you join us on this adventure. We hope that you hit that heart to follow. Subscribe if you're so inclined. If you think it's time, drop the prime. Anything that you can do to support grassroots esports, particularly Splatoon, is more than appreciated. Once again, folks, the final score, Mictlan Heroes, they gave it everything they had, but it was the day for 100% Sunshine. It was 100% their victory by a score of 4-2 in Grand Finals. So that's going to do it for us. For Kraken Mirren Production and my co-caster Alias, I'm Stu the Announcer, saying good night, and until we meet again, happy splatting.
Take care.